Well, I think I did. I certainly learned a lot about all of the things that it does or what you need to do to get it to do whatever. And
okay.
Yeah,
just
nice.
ask her about
Really nice is when you're on the highway.
I'm in
like
a
you can
meeting
tell
so I'm about
if somebody's coming up faster on your left, but you're cruising at a certain speed. And then you realize that right when you think you're going to have to pass something, that other car that's coming up is going to block you from passing. Somehow it always times out that way. I don't know why.
Really?
So what I do is, with this car now, if I don't want to slow down, I just tap on the accelerator and I'm up to 100 in like 2 seconds and whoop, right around, and it's like, yeah, fuck you. That's a pretty nice feeling. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never had a car where you get thrown back in your seat from 70 miles an hour.
I'm actually surprised that with the electric vehicles they don't like try to limit that takeoff, because just limit the progression of speed like that. You know what I mean? Because they're all like that from what I understand.
Not all, but all the Teslas are.
If you think about how things go between the electric compared to the gas and the fuel injection system, everything has got to go with what I'm driving or you're driving compared to that. It's just...
Yeah, it's called instant torque versus you got a second for things to get going.
And this thing's got to suck more gas and it's got to go through the whole process.
You've seen the new Corvettes, right? They kind of look like Ferraris in a way. They're designed.
I have not, but I believe you.
Oh, the owner of Dobbs has one. I went over there yesterday. He had it out front. He's got a smashed windshield. He was on the way down the Lake of the Ozarks, and another truck hit a piece of rubber that was laying in the highway from another truck. Went right up, smashed his window.
Totally believe it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tires on the highways just from blowouts, I guess.
Wonder what I mean, he can afford it. I just want a new Corvette windshield. They're huge. I mean, they're kind of designed, at first, before I noticed it said Corvette, I was thinking, he's got Ferraris. He's got fucking a whole building full of cars. That's where I stored some of the stuff since we had COVID last year. I had to store it for a year, so I got to store it in one of the bays that keeps one of his cars in, and I was like, oh, God, wow, look at all these cars.
Let's see what else. It's got like the adaptive cruise control, or I think this is pretty common, where you can set the length that you want to follow or come close to whoever's in front of you, and it'll always keep that distance. So if I just wanted to not fool with anything, I could put it on autopilot and cruise control, and then just kind of put my hand through the wheel and let it sit there, and you could drive for miles without even having to do anything, because it'll keep the distance and slow down and stop at stoplights and keep going with the rest of the traffic. But then there are other times where you'd be in the middle of nowhere and it would be like, oh no, you would want to slow down. And I'm like, what? I'm looking around, there's nothing. So they haven't perfected that yet, but
do you have the thing where it drives on its own yet, or
the full self-driving, that is only to like 2,000 people right now. They're still testing.
Oh.
What I have is called autopilot, and it'll change lanes and stop and go and turn, like off ramps and stuff, but it doesn't continue on after you get off like a highway. I think it's got I don't know how it goes.
Oh, Scott, he's back at work in his office building, and he parks in a garage. There's crafts like at 4-foot level, which is the outside. And he said he could see it. He can see his car every day. He's got Tesla, different model. But he said this is about a week ago. He said he's seen that the groundskeeping crews were out there feed whip, and he's like, oh, I didn't want to get. He keeps his car clean. He didn't want to get crash shit all over it, so he did the thing where the car moves out on its own.
Summon.
Yeah. Okay. And so the car rolls out on its own, and he just watches this guy go. And then he goes over and tells somebody else, and they're pointing and looking, and there's nobody inside. He keeps playing with that point.
Yeah.
He smelled it because I had no clue. And
Right.
it's like, that car just moved forward when I was behind it. That's pretty cool, though. I like that. He said it's great if you don't have enough room to get into your car. But you know what? If you ain't got enough room to get in and out of your car, and I wouldn't park there anyway, because the other idiot's going to get in their car and they're going to bang yours.
Yeah.
Right.
So like the only thing that I do with Summon as of right now is if it's like a Sunday night and the parking lot will be empty, I'll walk out of the store and then I'll have it drive up and meet me.
It pulls out of the spot and goes all the way up and gets you and follows the
but it's
directional.
still not like perfect. Sometimes it's like looking around, you see the wheels doing this. It's like, just come up here, and then it'll stop, and I'll go, all right, Summon again, and then it'll come up, and then it'll stop.
It's just being shy.
So
That is pretty
they
cool,
got,
though.
they got some bugs.
Park in
to
the
work
parking
out.
lot, you step outside, you hit Summon, the car pulls out of the parking lot, out of the spot and pulls up. Yeah. I mean, that is pretty neat.
Now, I have done it once when people were coming in the morning, and the car pulled up, and there were a couple people walking in, and this guy was just shaking his head, cool car, man. I was like, yeah, it's just a car. Still just a car, no matter what.
It'd be nice on those days that it's raining.
Yeah, exactly.
8:57.
Walking through the rain. Yo, come get it.
Yeah, and it'll get better over time, because it's like a computer, they get over-the-air updates with Teslas that apparently none of these other electric car companies thought was important. That apparently they're going to catch on. We'll see. You know, they're doing a lot of stuff with
I want to see the Ford
infrastructure
Lightning.
bill and all this, and Biden had a thing today with the
That's
big
how the
three
dialogue
in-
started,
in
man.
Michigan. And he was like, we'll give credits, but we're going to give more credits to union makers. And I have no problem with that, even though it costs me money.
By your command.
Anything that helps out the middle class, I'm like, please do that. So,
I love Battlestar Galactica. It came at the right time, even though it was shitty and dumb. It was still a great fun thing to watch on TV. Like, yay! More spaceship.
well, the new one wasn't shitty and dumb. It was
New
good.
one was
And it
the
didn't
new
last
one
long
was
enough.
interesting and they just wore it out. They should
Several
have just
seasons, several movies.
they should have lifted it and just been done, and then they kept on
I
going.
read somewhere
Now, I
doing-
like the
doing
Catwoman
more.
thing. I like the one where they showed the origin of the Cylons. With the, it started off in virtual reality. That was pretty good. I like the battles. I like this. I always like space battles. I'm a queer.
That's one of your jams, yes. I didn't see all the extra jam. I just watched the series and was like, oh, wow, this is really well done.
Yeah.
It was,
Like,
it
hey,
was
yay!
well done. I like the fact that
Sci-fi
they
that's well done. How about that?
analog and
Not
telephones on
fucking
the
Johnny
got a lot of
Johnny
props
Sacco
for-
and his flying robot. That's
We
cute.
got a lot of props for cinematography.
That or Ultraman?
Yeah, you know, it's like, all right, we were kids, this is cool. Now I try to watch it. I can't even watch 5 minutes of shit on YouTube. It's like, I can't. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah, Ultraman. Oh, and Johnny Sacco.
Now,
Oh my
there was
God.
a new Ultraman, but I never saw any of that, so I don't know if it was any
Oh,
good or
the old
not.
Ultramans were great. Yeah. I can still make the noise. He made noises when he would like jump through the air. He'd make certain noises, and I remember some of it.
One thing about those Japanese, nobody would make life-size cityscapes out of in model form that looked so real when Godzilla walking through tearing everything up.
That was
No one else
that's
touched
art
that.
form. Just like the original Star Wars. There was no CGI there. That was all model.
Yeah, they had several models. One of the biggest model I think was like 9 feet long of the Enterprise, the original, or the next generation.
There's a photograph of George
Star-
George Lucas standing in the room full of them. They were
We were
huge.
talking about Star Wars. And then you were like, oh, yeah.
Well, you talk about ships and CGI. I just what dawned on me was Star Trek, the big ass.
I mean,
model.
CGI is neat. I like the CGI in the redone original Star Trek series because that certainly enhances that garbage that they used to have.
I remember the old I don't remember what old movies they were, but it was where the rocket. You got it's a model and it's hanging on a string and it's moving.
Yeah.
You see the flames shooting
That's
out the
like
rocket and the
the
smoke's
rocket.
going up because
Yeah.
that's physics.
What they had to work with, I guess.
Or you get the little fiery meteor balls coming. Oh, there's another incoming comet. And the smoke's going straight up as it's coming down the water.
Brian Brown says, hello, Sloosh Magoosh.
Like, wait a minute. How's that happen?
I saw a guy online who converted his Tesla with a generator on the back tire so when he drives it, generates electricity and recharges his battery. Hopefully this gets added to the design. Hell, the streets of Coruscant were all models too.
They're going to arrest him for infringement.
One of the companies, I think it's one of the foreign sportier cars that are electric now have the whole top's solar panels. So it's not enough to charge the car and just run it 200 miles, but it has self-charging.
Are you talking about Aptera?
I don't remember
Did it look like it was almost like a plane? Was it 3 wheels or was it 4 wheels?
No, this is a sports car.
So it was a sedan.
No, it was a 2 going or slide up door. I don't remember. All I know is it was a foreign car. And I mean, I thought they used to have a thing where every time you stepped on the brakes, that was generating.
That's called regen braking. My car does that.
Okay, so they do have something. So that adds to the battery life, right? Okay. But not enough.
Daryl's got the car.
No, there's no such thing as free lunch.
Sure there is.
So you can't ever get more energy out of something than is you put in or is already there.
Now, apparently Tesla has a lifetime free charging thing, like what you said you get for so many years. Oh, you get that free.
I had 1,000 miles free upon buying a vehicle.
But I guess you could upgrade to a lifetime thing or something?
No.
Well,
There were some early
that's what this guy had then,
adopters
okay.
that had some things, but they got rid of that.
Because there's a guy selling one. You guys don't know how to take pictures. It's like he's under trees in the evening taking pictures of this black Tesla he's trying to sell for too much money. Oh, it has the auto drive feature. I'm like, yeah, they all get that ability, or they're going to. But anyway, yeah, he takes the pictures are hard to read. He keeps showing pictures of the screen inside. It's like, how about the rest of the car? Oh, the seats. You know, but he said it comes with a transferable lifetime charging thing or something. I forget what he said.
That would be cool. If
You know that thing you got hanging up outside they had that.
The charger?
Yeah, I seen it for $100 on Marketplace the other day. I mean, it's useless unless you got a Tesla, but there's somebody that's got a good price for that, $100.
Yeah, if it's the same thing.
It's just that, yeah, it looks exactly the same.
There might be a knockoff, you know, that's a thing.
Says Tesla. I mean, this is a huge one. I think I selling new ones. He's selling one that he, for whatever reason.
So probably wants to get rid of it. Because brand new, they're $500.
For just the outside thing, nothing.
Well, I mean, you get everything you need for an electrician to install it.
Okay, but that the $500 doesn't include it, the electrician and all that stuff.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. I mean, it's useless unless you got Tesla, but I'm like, $100 sounds
Well,
like a good price.
not necessarily. If you have an adapter, and you put it on the end of that thing, you can charge other electric vehicles.
Yeah, but I don't have anything. That's why I mean it's useless to me. Or I see what you're saying. If you have an electric vehicle, if you have an electric vehicle, I guess
But
you
there
could
are-
have the plug into the outlet.
There are
bar.
cheaper ways to
Yeah.
do it than
It
that.
takes longer.
You can hook it up to your 240, which they call level 2, and then you'll get about 30 miles every hour it sits there and charges.
Is that what yours is?
Mine gets closer to 50.
Because
Even though it's a level 2, it's because I guess they have some kind of software that lets it work
okay.
faster. I don't know. But
when you stop at those stations or those spots where you can plug in
superchargers,
how fast do they?
well, they go like, they can, if you go to a 250 kilowatt, that's called a version 3, you can, I mean, if you're at a version 2, it starts off where you're getting like 400 miles for every hour of charge, but then as it fills up, that starts to taper off because you don't want to cram everything on a full battery. That'll hurt it. So by the time you're close to the top, you're getting probably 60 or 50, but most of the time you don't fill it all the way up anyway.
Does your car, being an all electric, still need blinker fluid?
No, as it turns out, it doesn't. And what else does it? It doesn't. It doesn't need headlight water or whatever that I saw.
I see a video or somebody, he's pranking his wife, said, honey, just go in and just ask the guy. Where is it on the shelf? I'll find it. Just ask the guy. He'll show you right where it is. He keeps it behind the counter. Send her in for blinker fluid. So she goes in and asks for blinker fluid. The guy's like, it was people that don't have a clue.
All right. Well, Daryl ought to be pretty close to joining us. So let's see what we can do.
Well, Daryl's on, isn't he? Or is he just listening?
I'm guessing he's got the audio on, but
I am. Yes, I'm here.
I'm here. I'm Batman.
Welcome, those of you who are early adopters to the D&D Live. This is episode number 37
Oh my god.
of the World of Skell
That's gonna be good for us.
Story
Bad for us.
Ghosts, and we are glad to be back from our break. I took a nice long couple of trips, and I don't know what these guys were doing while I was gone, but apparently they didn't kill themselves, and that's all that matters. So, to bring us all up to speed, we left off after the heroes went to a wooden fort up the coast and assaulted it the first time, and it didn't go all that well. As a matter of fact, one of their group is still missing, though they have it on magical information that he is somewhere either on the ship or in the fort or what have you. And that could be an issue because after that fight, they retreated to the top of a hill that ended in a ledge that overlooks the forests and then the fort near the shoreline and the huge Acariman trimast ship that had the slaves on it. Well, now, after some of the druid decided to call lightning and blasted the fort and the ship with lightning bolts, and like an anthill that was kicked over, suddenly there was a lot of activity at the fort and at the ship. Some people were seen coming off the ship and moving into the forest, and the fort people were seen moving about, but the storms did lots of damage, the lightning bolts. And eventually, after about 30 minutes or so, some of the Acariman soldiers that were on the ship, you would assume, came up and finally caught up to where the group was, and a skirmish ensued. It was kind of an odd skirmish with people not attacking or taking up formations of weird geometric shapes, and they had these swords and their eyes were red with rage or fire or power or whatever, and a couple of the spells that were first cast were reflected back upon the caster, but even with that, the group managed to prevail. There was a fight near the end where the giant eagle appeared, and several of the Acarimans fled the battlefield while the eagle was left to fight, and it was dispatched and thrown off the edge of the cliff. And then it was noticed that the ship was on fire, possibly from previous lightning strike or something else. And there was a lot of people, probably slaves, that were fleeing the ship while it was still at the deep water harbor. And that is where we left off. So, unless someone has any additions, edits, or corrections they would like to, or anything else they want to ask about, we can jump into the session tonight with you all deciding what you want to do at this moment. You all are up at the top. There are no enemies or things to attack you as far as you know. Doesn't mean there isn't, but and as long as you all have your current hit point totals and whatever, then Sean has his hand up.
Can we reset our fatigue?
Not yet.
Okay.
In 5th edition terms, you would need a short rest. But in 2nd edition, it's like,
Fine.
well, find
I wanna
a
make sure.
time, yeah. and all you hear are the sounds of the forest, and from the far distance, what I said was about, if I remember correctly, 200 yards from the cliff to the fort. The sound that you can hear is, you don't really hear the burning of the ship, you see it, but you can occasionally hear loud noises from people making noises down at the ship and the fort. So Jason had his hand up.
Well, I'm going to look around at everybody and say, well, now what? Did we wait for them, or did we go down and do them?
How are you guys?
I think we should bump.
Go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm going to switch my devices.
Okay.
How is everybody after that fight?
Negotiating.
I know that last game that Shadrach said, is anybody hurt? And you said, COVID said he was, and he had a spell cast on him for a few hit points.
I mean, I'm a lot better off than I was.
That was the last thing that...
I just make sure everybody else is okay before we decide to go do something. I don't want to...
Yeah, I took a beating on that.
How are you now, though?
I'm down now.
Still
I'm
down.
step forward, Brandon. Step forward, Dick.
I'll step
And I put
forward.
my hand on his shoulders. And I pray to the Glen, bless this warrior, this hero, and heal his body and his mind and cleanse his spirit. And I use the laying on of hands to give him 12 points.
Very nice, thank you.
How is our
Praise the blend.
how is our other warrior friend from the blend?
He says, I'm
Could you survive another battle, Tom, if one was to ensue?
yes.
Okay. I suggest then, we go down there and, as we originally had planned, give them the ultimatum to surrender or to leave their... I think they need to surrender. I think if we allow them to just run away and leave the slaves behind, they may group up knowing that we're caught up with a bunch of things to move. I think we should go down there and give them the ultimatum.
Well, as it stands right now,
Hold on, Shadrach. Go ahead, pick.
as it stands right now, Shadrach's destroyed 3 of the 4 ballistas. We got them on the run right now. They sent troops up here after us.
I thought so too, but there's one not X'd out.
They sent troops up here after us. We dispatched them. That means they're more depleted than they were before.
Jason, I think, if I remember correctly, Cobb will have to change and decide here, but I think one of them, you killed the guys that were up there, but it didn't completely destroy the...
Okay.
I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because I had 6 bolts. So...
You definitely struck every tower, I know that.
Talking about which one got destroyed, but I had hit all 4 of them. Yeah. I was being more general in my approximation.
I say we start moving. I say we start moving down.
If we go down there, this is just a back thought. We surrender our advantage physically. They still have the fort, and we'll be down on low ground. Right now, we have the high ground.
Well, I agree, but we have the high ground, but we're nowhere near the fort. And how are they? I mean, it's a stalemate if we stay up here.
That when we go down there, we surrender our advantage that we have right now.
Well, what advantage do we have right now?
I'm fine with that.
What's our advantage now? We can't interact with the fort at all.
Right now.
We're no
They
threat
have
to
to come
them.
to us, and they know that we can hit them from up here.
No, you can.
They don't know anything except we. We are destroying their fortress. They know who we are now. They've seen us.
We still need to get a message to them, and I'm willing to take one down there if you want.
That's fine, but I just want to remind you that if we go down there, we're giving up a certain degree of advantage that
We have to get a message to them if we want to do something. I'll volunteer to take it down there.
I'm reminding everybody that if shit goes south, that's why.
Go ahead, Vanessa.
I would like to present myself to the innocent and tell them to leave the fort before the attack. I would like to go down there and, as a representative of the blend, to those who have been forced or coerced into these actions, give them the opportunity to leave, and I will inform them that our emissary will be coming down with terms. And I think I don't think we should ask them to surrender, because we don't have the forces to contain them if they do. I think we should ask them to free the slaves, and we will leave the fort alone. We will leave the area. Give us the slaves, we leave. That's what I think we should offer.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think it's a good idea. But I do want to just throw out there that if we leave this place intact, I mean, they'll just start over. And if we don't have them surrender or kill them, and we end up taking all these slaves because we're going to want to protect them to get them back wherever they need to go, then we have a big chunk to chew on there that we can't necessarily handle, because then they could attack us at any point. It's a thought.
They'll reinforce themselves. There's an old axiom that you may even know, Covidius, that says never leave an enemy behind. If we just walk away from here after freeing the slaves, all we've done is deprive them of money and stock.
Well, that's why they said they're either gonna continue with what they're doing, or.
Now, if we destroy their boat, it's going to be a long time before the next boat shows up.
I think you did a good job on that. I think the boat's just toast.
The boat's burning.
Well, okay, but I'm just saying, as Adam Kane, a boat can be severely damaged in a battle with cannons and shit, and they can still fix them and make them go.
I'm gonna look at that boat.
As you all are talking, you do see a group like moving on to the ship, and the group that has gone off of the ship has kind of like run away from the fort.
I'm looking at the boat. What I'm curious to know from my vantage point, do I see anybody like bucket parades, for instance, trying to put the fire out? Do I see anything like that going on to try and minimize the fire that I can see from here?
How long would you like at this exact moment?
Well, it's not happening at this moment.
At this exact moment, no.
And this is how long after the battle?
Maybe a minute.
Well, no, we just had a big fight after he did all the boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, yes. So it was about a minute after where we ended the game last time.
No, I meant since the boat caught fire, since we noticed the boat on fire.
5 minutes at the most.
Oh, so not a whole lot.
As long as you guys have been talking.
Well, and I just say it doesn't look like they're putting the fire out yet or trying to contain it. But those ones that just moved back on the boat, they might be doing that.
Stop. I'll go, Vanessa.
I will go down and tell the people that the fort will be destroyed. Leave now, or side with the Acarani.
What if they take you hostage? For whatever reason?
I have an idea. I can use, if Shadrach will allow me to befriend Wynnum, I can cast a spell that will let him sprout wings and become a Pegasus.
Oh, we're talking about hooks. Wow.
And then I will use him to go from here in the air, and I can enhance my appearance so that they will understand that I am a holy representative of the blend.
Sounds good to me.
They could shoot at me, but I want to give the people fair warning and tell them to leave now before the fort is destroyed.
But I agree, that would be a very impressive display. If what they haven't seen already hasn't scared the shit out of them.
Right.
Flying in on a horse.
I could present myself as a holy emissary.
If you may ask my horse. Ask him, do you need me to speak to the horse for you, or can you do it yourself?
I think I can manage.
But if you need me to speak for you, let me know.
Okay.
But yes,
I'll
please
be
do.
making a plan then.
I'd just like to remind you, Cobb, that I still have ox strength for probably another hour.
All right, good to know.
Because I cast it right at when the battle started, and it hasn't been that long still.
All right, so who's doing what now?
I'm keeping an eye on the fort. I'm trying to see what's going on in the fort.
All right.
I'm studying my book and looking for components.
I'm just keeping an eye on the fort. So for now.
All right. What about you, anything?
I'll take a look at the boat. Is there visible flame
Stand
on the
close to
boat?
the edge, look
Or the
down.
boat?
You don't see anything going on at the castle,
Okay.
the fort.
When you get to the edge and you look down, you see the carcass of a giant eagle and like a couple feathers stuck in the wall on the way down. Apparently maybe where it's brushed into it or floated down or whatever. Yeah. As you guys look down at the fort, you see a full-on jailbreak taking place as people are now starting to come out of every door. They are carrying what appear to be more than just their clothes or whatever they had on them, being slaves. They've got like possibly like weapons from the guards or the soldiers or whatever that were there, and they appear to be dragging people outside and killing them. And the ship, there is now a concerted effort you can see by guys who are attempting to, whatever the term is for set sail.
They're getting ready. They're trying
They're
to
like undoing ropes and pulling up the drawbridge, and there's
Shipwreck starts moving.
people with water that are going down and passing buckets up and all kinds of things.
We gotta get down there now.
So,
or Shadrach needs to do something else to destroy them.
so
We can't let that boat get away.
Shadrach, you decide to start running along the edge to try to get back down there. Is that correct?
I'm going to start moving quickly, not running, but jogging, and I'm going to look around and say, we got to go now.
Okay. Does anyone follow Shadrach?
I do.
On my horse.
I'll grab, I grab the reins to Smoke and them, and I'll lead them as I follow.
I'll leave mine. I'm gonna ride it. Do this heavy stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to turn around. I'm not at the edge of the thing where I can fall off if I
No, I
run.
understand. Sure.
But
Okay.
I'm going to look back to Covidius and say, where first? The boat? I think we should do the boat.
That's
Where
where
the
the
guys?
that's where the bad guys will be.
Okay, so as you traverse your way back down the hill, obviously it's unfortunate that you can't gallop. There's no straight path through. A tracker could find ways to get down quicker because they would able to find game trails and other things, unless any of you do have tracking, in which case you would be the one that would know these sorts of things. So by the time, how close do you want to get to the fort? Like, are you gonna attempt to go through the forest, or are you going to go all the way back and try to go to the beach? And what's going to be your way to get there? Who's leading this, first of all? Who's in front?
I may have been, not intentionally, but
Yeah.
I will stop
All
at
right.
the forest edge.
So
I will stop at the edge of the forest.
now, at the edge of the
And
forest,
then
you
look back
mean
for everybody else.
at the edge where you get down to where it's more of you're on a level?
Level.
Okay. So you guys don't have any issues with that. However, I would like Pick to roll a d12. A 5. You guys have no issues with that. Now where do you go? You have a couple choices. You can continue to ride towards where you think the shoreline is, and it wouldn't be that hard to figure out because the day you can see you haven't entered the forest proper yet. You're kind of down at a point where you have a chance to look over and see the ocean. Or do you want to go back along the edge of the rock face for some reason that would get you closer to the fort, but then you'd have to go through the forest, and that might be a way to want to. So you tell me which way you'd like to go.
I was assuming that we were following the path that we took when we went there the first time.
Well, then that would take you then to the beach.
That's my assumption. People can disagree with that. I'm okay.
The beach is good, because once you get to the beach,
Okay.
we just head to the fort.
I mean, Kettle Tom has taken you this far, but he never led you guys. He just was like, well, the beach is that way. So there's not necessarily...
Well, we did travel up here with the horses,
Yeah.
and some of them are Clydesdale sides, so there's a lot of, I mean, I would hope there's some sort of a visible trail in the daylight as we go back down. I mean, looking for a horse hoof in the
I'm
soft
on
earth.
foot,
I'm
so,
hoping,
I mean,
I know
yeah,
it's
finesse
probably
is
under
my
tracking,
horse.
but I would think it would leave a more desirable trail than a harder to find one.
Well, if you're even looking for a trail, I don't know what Jason just is saying, that you guys are going to go towards the beach. That's what I heard.
Is that sufficient
So-
for you to take us to the beach? Because I'm good with it.
We'll find out. So you head in the direction of what you think is that beach, and I would like, since Shadrach, you're leading, I would like you to roll percentile.
I'll be number 2.
I'm occupied right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll go to our number 2, which would be Vanessa. Roll me percentile.
He taking a shit while he's playing?
No, I didn't
get my dice up.
Hey, as long as the camera's off, I don't care, and I don't want to hear it.
Put a sock over it,
17.
preferably a new sock.
Ooh,
Not a crust-
17.
Not an old crusty.
Daryl, you're supposed to roll high on that.
Am I?
Fuck.
Do you have
I'm
your
being
minutes or tracking or any of those skills?
Well, nobody has tracking, so
Maybe we have tracking, we just don't want you to know we have tracking. Nobody
Well,
has
that-
tracking.
that
Oh,
would
that's
be up to
right,
you.
our tracker is,
working
Amor?
second shift.
yeah.
Mr. Knight,
You don't even share it with us on our thing we do all the time. I've not seen him on it since he goes.
Well, I told him I wasn't gonna. It wasn't good for me. I didn't like the way that was done, so I was like, I'm not interested in playing your character, and
No, I mean, he's not interacting with us on the jib jab
Yeah.
stuff that we're doing.
I'm not interested in having that.
No, I meant when we're
You
talking
mean-
shit offline.
You mean the
Throughout the week. Yeah, no, I meant, because we've added him, but he never replies or says anything. That's what I meant by
He
it.
normally doesn't. But
Well, I'm just saying, well, he used to somewhat interact when he was playing.
sure.
Not playing on Thursday, I mean, when he was still in the game. I mean, I didn't exclude anybody.
all
I
right,
haven't heard
let's
from him.
get back.
we find the stand, and here we go. We know where the fort is.
Yep, it's that way. We all go the wrong direction, because
We go back to Colam's lair.
hire him for a bag of sweets.
I would ride him in the battle.
Okay, so you miraculously you managed to keep going the direction that you want to try to go, apparently, because
We're
you
not
end up
getting competition.
you end
Come
up
on,
at the
man.
beach. However, you come out at a different place at the beach than you had before, and you realize that you're a little further away, which may be a good thing or not. You don't know. The only thing that you can see is you're at the beach, and as you look to your right, because the ocean is straight ahead of you, you see smoke coming up over the tops of the trees, where you can certainly guess that's the fire from the ship. And it's probably 500 yards or more away. So you've made it there, but you didn't come out as close as either you hoped, or maybe you came out as far away as you wanted to. That's up for you guys. So do you do anything once you get out of the forest, or do you just turn right and head towards your certain doom?
Oh, we had door certain doom, of course.
That's my
Certain doom
favorite.
it is.
That's my favorite thing in
Certain
D&D.
doom,
So
certain doom,
do you
certain
want to
doom.
live, or are you going to go where you're going to die? Oh, we want to go
I
where we
bring up the
die.
rear and I follow the group.
Okay, so now that
toward the pool.
So Vanessa has said she's bringing up the rear, so I'm assuming, and you guys can set your own marching order. On the beach,
I'm behind
you
you.
can go 2 by 2 on horseback
I'm
and
alongside.
stay out of the, so you want to be alongside Shadrach?
Yes.
I'm on foot, remember?
So you're leading your horse? Or no?
No, Vanessa has my
Oh,
horse.
Vanessa, okay.
Well, I'm riding mine
Yeah.
alongside of
I mean,
the
if
running
somebody else
ox
wants to-
child.
If somebody else wants to have me ride with them, that's fine, or I can just run. I don't care.
Why don't you ride your own
So
horse?
Vanessa, are you riding a horse?
Vanessa's turning my horse.
Not anymore. This was before you decided we needed to run down there real quick.
We still have an extra horse.
So we still have Pick and Kettle Tom's
Reginald's
horse.
All right, I'll
You
ride
can
my
ride
horse.
your
No
horse.
problem.
So Pick, are
Regina,
you
or
riding?
Regina,
or you
or,
want- yes.
I forget her name. She's not doing
And
the,
Kettle Tom
she's
is
not doing the spell
on
right now.
his,
It's also we gotta run down there, so.
which leaves
Been delayed.
Reginald's horse.
I think we make an impressive scene on a beach riding down on our horses.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Reginald's horse? Who has control of it?
Vanessa is walking that horse.
So who has Shadrach's
Well, I
horse?
have two.
He is both.
You got
Now I
two.
have
Okay.
the women.
All right, I got him. There you are. Okay.
There was just a little confusion over who had whose horse.
Okay. So
Do you want to ride up here? I put a hand down to
I
grab
got my
you.
horse. I got my horse.
Eventually you will. All right, now you got your horse.
it doesn't.
Well,
It's fine.
Vanessa didn't take it, so yeah, that's scratched. All right.
You can just say you have it. I don't think anyone's going to argue.
Damn it! No.
And Pick, do you want to ride behind Kettle Tom or side by
Side
side?
by side.
All right. So,
I'm gonna. Okay. I was gonna say when we're about 100 yards away from there, I'm gonna dismount.
well, nothing's happened. So now you can guess as you. Now you've come out about where you're like, oh, this is where we came out before, and you can see some blood on the sand that's kind of worked its way towards the ocean. And you're like, oh yeah, this is where Vanessa helped out Pick before. So Shadrach dismounts, and do you walk your horse further, or do you leave it, or what do you do?
I'll pat the horse and just let it. I'll just leave. Just leave it.
So we're still on the beach, is that correct?
Yep. Okay, so
I'll just.
Shad is going on ahead without his horse. Anybody else?
Well,
I'm just standing there right now.
I guess I'll dismount.
You'll do the same? Okay. Anybody else? All right, so everyone is now walking. The horses are kind of left to their own device, unless Vanessa is going to stay with the horses.
I will stay back for a moment.
All right, so the horses just kind of gather up and they kind of walk off the beach and go up to the edge of the forest and sniffing around as animals do.
I can probably, if they all get lost, I can probably summon them.
Leaving Vanessa to just kind of hang out there at the tree line, and as the rest of you are
I
there.
look at them and make sure they're okay, and then I start heading toward the fort. I'm a little behind the group.
All right, okay. We'll put you 10 feet behind. How about that? All right. So,
Hey, Sean, can you give me a close-up snapshot of the group there?
Sure.
Thank you.
so you approach and you start to hear the sounds of people and things and screaming, and as the first thing you notice is that the ship has apparently detached from the deep water harbor and is now about 50 feet away from the dock, going out into the ocean. And as you continue to walk forward, you see the smoke has died down significantly, and there still appear to be a bunch of Acarimans attempting to make the boat seaworthy or keep it from becoming more damaged or whatever. You can also hear as you've now approached where you kind of get around the edge and you can see where I have drawn before and the fort and the walls around and the beach. The sounds from the inside have calmed down quite a bit, and you see some people milling about as if they don't know what to do, and there's other people that are huddled together, comforting each other. And so, how do you guys want to approach, or do you at all want to approach this situation? So Shadrach and COVID, you're up front, so
I want to say something.
Go right ahead.
The boat's leaving. There's nothing I can do. That boat's out of reach to all of us, except somebody that might be able to sling a spell at it.
I'm checking right now. I'm thinking I'm going to cast pyrotechnics on it and send the whole thing up in flames.
I would like Shadrach to roll a d12.
A 10.
All right. So as of yet, no one from the fort or the people outside or have seemed to have noticed you guys there kind of keeping your distance.
Are there bodies laying in the sand?
In the sand. I would say there's you can see one guy that seems to be taking the possessions of a dead Acariman.
Okay, I guess I'm looking to see, is there any dead slaves?
Make me a perception check.
29.
Okay. Other than that one guy that's out there kind of pilfering from the dead Acariman, you don't really see anybody else out there.
What does he look like, though?
What
Does he look like he might be a slave, or the guy picking over the dead Acariman?
Well, he's not dressed like an Acariman. He's wearing peasant clothes.
So does he look like he might have been a slave?
I mean, that'd certainly be a reasonable guess.
Okay.
Could be a soldier from the fort faking it.
I don't think that's the case.
Trying to make a deception. Okay, Shadrach's got his hand up.
Is the boat within 160 yards?
Yes.
I look at Covidius and say I can set the thing on fire.
Do it.
Time.
Do it.
I start casting.
I'm moving.
All right, well, I guess we should roll initiative then, just to make sure. So let's do actions. We have casting a spell. Now is movement your action, Vanessa, or are you going to do an action and movement it would be included?
I'm moving and I'm saying, these people need help. And I'm going closer to the fort.
Okay. So yeah, if you're trying to move with some immediacy, you'll have to do a move and then use your action for a move as well.
I'm not impeding with Shadrach in any way.
No, okay. Anything from you?
At this distance, to get to up there, it's just movement.
Okay, and you.
I'm going to move with Vanessa to make sure she's protected.
All right, roll initiative, pick. You get 4. Oh no!
It explodes.
Right off the bat. Okay.
Oh, is that what you're rolling?
So, roll a d20, pick. Beat a 3.
5.
This happens to you. Roll another d20.
16. Awesome.
16. Reinforcements.
What the fuck?
What's Kettle Tom doing?
He's our reinforcements!
Okay, so, as weird as it sounds,
It heard something weird.
as you all begin to do your action, whether it be movement or cast a spell or movement, a ominous yet amazing sight appears, and all of you see this. flying out of the fort and just up into the air and off into the sky appears a shimmering, winged, hooded creature that you seem to recognize from it may be a past encounter or something, and it flies off just wherever it goes. And then we go to anyone on fast, so that would be movement. So everyone noticed this, by the way.
Can we hear anything coming from the fort?
Other than like there's less screaming and pain and like sounds of murder are lessening.
Was that Mom too?
I think it was the angel of death.
Okay, so we go to fast. Anyone on fast? Is everyone sticking with their action? Yes? Okay, so we have movement from these three. Where the fuck's Shamwinkle? Okay, there we go. So from these three, they move, and they get, about halfway to the fort. Meanwhile, on the loser side of fast, nothing happens as far as you all know. Average, Vanessa, where, I've already forgot. Oh yeah, you're up here because you're moving that way. That's right. Okay. So on average, you guys take the second part of your movement, and that gets you almost all the way up to the edge of the fort. And meanwhile,
Like at the edge of the dock on that same corner that we went in before?
yeah. So Shadrach, what's casting time on your spell?
6.
Okay, that's average, so your spell goes off.
Shadrach raises his hands into the air, one of his classic maneuvers, looking towards the boat, and he kind of cocks his head sideways and his eyes turn red and then they turn black. And then he kind of coughs, and the boat, it just explodes in this gigantic column of smoke. 100 times the area of the fire for the next 6 rounds. That everybody in there is just covered in smoke. Boom!
What's the name of the spell?
Pyrotechnics, second effect.
Alright, let's see if I can get a better idea here. And
The fire is also immediately extinguished.
What are the components? There it is.
It says the fire. It says verbal somatic material. There's no mention of a material component, so I'm assuming the fire is the component. You have to have a fire to cast it. You can't cast it on just bare stone.
Okay, I see.
I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
So you're causing a thick, writhing stream of smoke to arise?
That covers 100 times the area of the fire.
To form a choking cloud that lasts for 1 round per experience level. This covers a roughly hemispherical volume from the ground or floor up, or conforming to the shape of a combined area that totally obscures vision beyond 2 feet. So just the smoke?
Yeah, I don't want the boat destroyed. Not that way, because there's people on it still. Reginald might still be on the boat.
Okay. Alright.
But they're going to have a hard time doing anything for the next 6 rounds on that boat besides breathing.
Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Okay.
What could have done fireworks? The fireworks wouldn't have been as impressive. It would have been really impressive, but it wouldn't have done as much.
Okay.
But this is 6 rounds of basically tear gas.
So what do you say, and what's your somatic? How do you move your hands or whatever to get this to go?
I would have moved my hands in front of my face, like I said, just like drawing in air. And like I said, my eyes turned red first, then they turned black, and I was like, I cough out this little tiny bit of smoke, and poof! The boat just is engulfed in smoke.
Okay, sounds good. That's what happens.
Common for druids.
Yes. And so so the boat continues to move. So it moves another 30 feet or 6 squares as now the smoke covers the ship and you would assume causes them to
Jump overboard?
think something's going wrong somewhere, or who knows. It depends on the roll I need to make.
I mean, at the very least, they think the ship is more on fire than it was.
Okay. So you do hear some slight noises coming from the smoky covered area of the ship. All right.
By the way, just a question, what's 100 times the size of that fire area? Would that engulf the whole ship? 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that the smoke is covering almost the entire boat. You can see like the front end and the back end, and that's it. And some of the masts, although they're not 100 feet tall, but so.
Well, the smoke is all over in the air.
It said it was a hemisphere, so it's like if you put a big half of a bubble. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a big oil fire.
So by the amount of smoke that you see, you realize that the fire was probably almost out before you cast it. Because if it had been a full-on fire, there would have been a bunch more smoke and a much bigger area.
Shadrach, what did you do?
I turned the fire into smoke.
How's that going to help us? The boat's leaving. It's out of our reach.
If Reginald's on that boat, he won't die. He won't burn to death.
If the boat continues to sail away, it's going somewhere else. Going back probably to my homeland.
It's not moving that fast.
It's fast enough, and we
We have
can't.
to deal with the port. I'm sorry, the boat. I can't swim.
That's my
I did
point.
the
The
best
boat
I
is getting
could.
further
I
away.
did the
We
best
can't do
I
anything
could.
about it.
I think I did the right thing.
Covidius, did you go with me or not?
Yeah.
Uh,
But we're all moving together. I thought.
Covidius, Pick, Kettle
Oh,
Tom,
sorry.
and Vanessa are all
Right.
moving up to the edge of the wall of the fort.
I should have been talking to him. He was not.
If I can make a half move at the end of the turn, I will.
Rat
the
man.
ball.
You can make a half move.
But I will follow them.
So at the end of the round, as you guys get up there to the edge of the fort, as I said, the fort seems a little less murdery, but you're not sure what's going on in there. So, that is the end of the round, and
I can still hear you.
with the amount of time that you had in between the fight and actually coming down here, your fatigue points are gone, if you had any.
Awesome.
So, and you don't really need to keep track of these because you just need to tell me. So Vanessa, you are going to look for people, if that's what I heard. So
I'm heading to the main gate where we...
you want to go to the main gate and not the gate by very close to where you are now. There's a smaller gate at the corner where you are.
Well, let me ask real quick. Is that open by any chance?
Yeah.
You said people were flooding out everywhere.
Oh yeah,
So that gate's open, the one on the corner.
you're just not quite close enough to where if you look in, you're going to get much information. You
I
gotta-
say we head for
you
that.
gotta
It's
get-
open.
You got to get closer. That's all.
Yeah, definitely going in.
Okay.
Yep, I follow her.
right,
I take the lead on you. I get in front of you. I say, let me go in first, and then you
Okay.
come right
So
behind.
when you get in there, I'm going to try to paint a word picture. So what you see is lots of fairly clothed individuals of varying states of health. Skinny or beaten or eyes gouged out or ears cut off. Some with manacles on, some without, some with broken arms. But then you see about, as you look around various places, face down or face up, creature or people or things that were, they lost a fight of which you didn't see, but it wouldn't be too hard to figure out that the slaves escaped and pulled a Spartacus on these motherfuckers and killed everyone that was their slaver. And so now as you guys go in and start to look, they are like looking up at you, and I would like whoever ran in first, Covidius. Actually, I need all of you to make a charisma check, and we'll see how they react to everyone going in. And so at some point, Shad will get up there. It's not like you guys run in real fast to try to keep the distance from Shadrach. He runs up, and then as you guys come in, he comes in a few seconds later. So, 19, that's a failure. Shadrach?
I was more intent looking at the boat, but I'll run up to the gate with them.
Roll a
But
charisma
I'm
check.
keeping an eye on the boat.
Roll a
I'm
charisma
watching the
check.
boat.
Roll a charisma check.
25.
That's a success. Vanessa?
25.
That's a success. COVID?
29.
That's a success. And Kettle Tom rolls a natural 19 for
Nice.
way over success.
So
So
I rolled an 8.
they pause for a second, and then one of them says,
Kill the macaroon? No.
"That's a priestess of the blend. I know her. Oh goodness!" And they kind of start to come over, and they're, "Are we safe?" And another one's like in the back going, "I killed every one of them I saw." And another one's coughing up blood, and then you look over here, and there's one that's obviously didn't do so well in his fight. His head's smashed against the fort wall. There's not a lot of children here. There's more like a bunch of teenagers and adults. I don't know what they did with the little ones here. And you see like some crying women, and men are helping them. So there's, after a while of the word spreading around, you gather that there's probably 60 or 70 slaves that survived the fort. And so now my question is, well, you have your hand up.
Is Reginald among them?
I would like Reginald to make a charisma check. Okay, and now I would like Reginald to roll percentile. I'm sorry. No, let's make it more fun than that. No, roll percentile, Reginald. Roll percentile.
I get spinning. 11.
Okay, so so we'll just take this one at a time. You go looking for Reginald. What does Vanessa do? I think you're going to try to triage or something. That's what it sounded like.
Correct. I'm using my healing proficiency and first aiding to everybody as easily and trying to calm them. And I'm taking whatever rags I need to bind wounds. I'm going to be involved for some time.
Okay, so I want you to roll a healing check to see. Okay, roll a healing check first.
$31.
And now I want you to roll percentile.
$18.
And roll it again.
$28.
Okay. Shadrach, what do you do when you get to the edge there and you look in and you see the people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's a priestess of the blend, I know her." And the ship is still out there billowing in smoke. What would you do?
I would personally probably be doing like deciding. I move into the port to help Vanessa.
Okay, that's fine. So Vanessa, I want you to roll a healing check again because you're getting help.
I can't stop the boat. I can't stop the boat.
20. It'll be okay, Shadrach. You did everything you could.
But you rolled a 31 before, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so 31 will be your score. Okay, and then COVID. Once the people recognize you, or at least one of your group, and they apparently are less inclined to fight, they're like, oh yeah, well, you know, yay. What would you like to do at this time?
I am going to, while they're doing their triage thing, I'm gonna like stand guard and not watching them so much as I'm watching for anybody that might be wishing any of this group harm. Like if I see soldiers battling
Sure.
these people, I go up and take out the
Yeah.
soldiers.
Are
that
you
kind of shit.
attempting to do a 360 watch, or are you concentrating
Well, my
your
back
watch
would be towards the gate,
on-
which we just came in. I don't have to worry
Which is
about
here.
behind me. Yeah, I don't have to worry about
Well, I
behind
mean,
me.
I'm just trying to get a picture here of like if you're
We all come
are
in the
you
gate.
if you're focused on anything.
We come in the gate. We see everything that's going on. They start hip hopping and back and forth, dealing with the people. So I'm kind of like in the middle of the area we're in, just keeping an eye out, ready to go deal with whatever needs to be dealt with. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Okay. So,
That includes looking up.
pick you.
We see that thing
You
flying
head
by.
off and you kind of go around the back, and you see Reginald. However, he doesn't look too good. He looks like he's been. Reginald had some kind of, I think, was it a mouth injury before?
He was stabbed in the face, through the cheek, and lost like 5 teeth.
So not only do you notice that he's kind of slumped against the wall with a fucked up wound that he described, he also looks like he's been like beaten, because he's got these little nicks and cuts all over him. Either that or he ran through brambles or something. And he kind of like, one eye's all puffy and closed, and as you kind of walk up there and he kind of opens the eye, and Reginald, you know, what that means is you have 11% of your hit points right now, whatever that is.
Okay.
So he's not doing too well, and he looks bad. He doesn't have anything on his feet, for instance.
Is there,
All he's got are his breeches and like a torn up shirt. That's it.
is there is he bleeding? Is it noticeably bleeding?
I mean, you get up there and you kind of look at him, and he looks kind of crusty right now.
Okay.
Like maybe he was, but he just was left unattended. And
Do I recognize Pick?
yeah,
Can I see?
yeah, but
Yes!
Buddy,
Pick!
let me help you up. Let me get you, go over here to get some help. Get Shadrach and Vanessa to fix you up.
Okay, so COVID, you just happen to glance as you see Pick helping Reginald around the corner of the floor here, and he, you know, Pick's small, and so he's really, Reginald's kind of like leaning on him, and he's having a hard time. Vanessa and Shadrach, you're assessing the damage from all these people, and it's like one of them, you kind of just pull the shirt up over his head and turn him over, he's dead. And there's another one that's got like a dislocated elbow, and several of them have slashing wounds, and Shadrach has his hand up.
Just really basically, if there's any severely wounded person who is awake, I have 4 good berries. I will distribute the 4 good berries to the most injured, conscious people who can take them.
Fair enough. And Vanessa, you start helping the wounded, and do you basically do you use anything other than your intelligence and your equipment in helping these people? Because you know that you can use your healing on anyone that's still alive and save them. It takes like, you know, an action to do that to whatever individual. But you also know that there may be some that are unconscious that you can staunch the bleeding, but there might not be enough people to hold the compress or whatever on them. So if you want to choose to use your spells to also do this, you'll have to tell me that. You don't have to, obviously.
If anyone is on the brink of death, I will use Cure Life Wounds to close any major wounds.
Okay, so let's see if you get lucky. Let's see if you get lucky. Roll me a level check, please. That's on a D30.
20.
20 plus whatever is not quite enough. Okay, so while you are doing that, where are you going with Reginald?
I'm gonna head back to where you're healing everybody, get him over there.
Okay. So Vanessa, you cast 2 Cure Light Wounds, and you've used about half of your healing bag on like 5 individuals, and then you hear hear Pick come up with Reginald, and I don't know. I think they know each other. So, and they've already rolled to see their reaction.
Oh my goodness!
So
You found him.
He's not doing very well. He's hurt bad.
Sit down right here. I'm almost done.
and you can see that the worst of Reginald is in his mouth. Something happened to him, obviously. It's like when what's his name? You know, you get punched and you get a split lip, but his is like really split bad, and it's ripped down from the bottom to where like his gum line's showing, and there's broken teeth. The edges are all crinkle, and it's just like, oh fuck. So that's not good. Yes, Shadrach, you had your hand up.
Do I see Reginald?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And you
move
see
to
it
him
too,
and-
if I hadn't said already.
You said, and then you just kept right along, so I didn't say anything.
All right. Well, if you want to do something,
You said they're barely hanging on, like trying to move him over.
Pick was because he's so small.
I go and immediately
Help
help
him?
to
Okay.
get him over
All right.
to these guys.
All right, so everyone's kind of around this area here all together. So Vanessa, you finish up with like some lady that's had like 2 of her fingers cut off during the fight, and you wrap it up, and stop the bleeding or whatever, and put some salve on it real quick, and you say, hold it, keep the pressure on it until it quits bleeding, and then you turn your attention to Reginald. Go ahead.
And I see that Shadrach has stepped over there, and I ask him, do you need any assistance?
All you can see Shadrach do is just try to like reach out and touch Reginald. He doesn't even hear what you say.
Unless Reginald resists,
Yeah.
you're not.
He does not.
You're not in combat, so you touch him. I guess. What do? Fondle his balls, or?
Oh,
Yeah, sure. I put my hands on his shoulders and look at him, and I just say, Mother Skell, heal this beloved warrior. Cure moderate.
For agreeing to fondle his balls, you can do that at advantage.
Well, it's D10 plus 1, I do believe, so he gets 11.
And what spell was this? Cure moderate?
Yeah, the second level.
Okay.
Detail.
So you see a
I
lot.
also wanted to let you know that I cast two cure lights on injured people.
Okay, very good. So you see some of the bruising and cuts that were inflicted upon Reginald apparently at some point from the time you guys lost him on the ship start to heal up some. But I'm guessing that there's still more bruising and cuts that exist there. Did you want to do or say something, or were you just...
While they're doing that, I'm getting out of the way.
Okay.
I'll go to the rest of the prisoners who are still in shackles and start removing shackles.
After getting him to
Yes?
to them, then I go back to what I was doing, kind of like standing overwatch.
Okay.
I'll look at Vanessa now if they help him. He's hurt.
So you use your lock-picking tools to free up the rest that may still have shackles on them, or half shackles, or whatever kind of restraints. And that takes a little while because there's quite a few. There's several that were like together, and you gotta go through each one. But certainly,
After I do that, I would like to get the ones that are less beaten up,
okay.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
And ask them to come with me to do a search for supplies, so we can get rags.
Okay, roll a charisma check. Let's see if they're in any mood to help.
That would be a 24.
Oh, apparently so. So yeah, about 10 of them seem like they're more than ready to help in whatever fashion.
Do what we gotta do to find rags, so we make bandages to get all these people patched up.
One of them says, well, there's a bunch of clothes not being used in the fort, but it's like an abattoir in there.
That bad?
Yeah. Oh,
Well, let's just say when you try to sell somebody off as a slave and you give them a chance, they got what's coming to them.
Good. That's
Not
what-
to mention, there was some weird spirit in there that apparently haunted the fort, and it seemed to help us.
That's a good thing. That means you're blessed.
Anyway, this way.
I'll follow. Let's go.
All right, so you do that. Vanessa, anything else from you?
Yes, I would move to cast a spell on Reginald.
Okay, what spell is that?
Repair injury.
Okay. And do you have all the components necessary for that?
I'm trying to look for those at the moment.
It's probably verbal somatic, and your material is your holy symbol.
I believe it is. I'm trying to read it here.
COVID, make me a perception check.
intelligence, right? Okay. 35.
Okay, and you're pretty sure that there's no enemies around. At least you don't see any.
I'm gonna start. Is there a big weapon around here somewhere? Like,
I mean, other than the ballistas up on the fort?
okay.
Those
What
are
I'm,
definitely-
what I'm looking for is a heavier sword or axe or cleaver. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I want to start chopping these chains off these guys, or if they're not. You're picking them, right?
Got them off already.
Well, you're.
Hundreds
This
and
is
thousands?
This is taking you a while to do
Okay.
this.
I figured it'd take you forever one.
But as you look around, and then you notice that Pick is going around, starting to open all any remaining manacles on these people. Now you can still do what you want anyway, but he seems to already be on this. Unless you were asking for something
No.
different.
I was looking for something to help him
Okay.
expedite things. I'm gonna ask a couple of. I'm gonna interact with a couple of the slaves, freed slaves.
All right. Well, there's plenty around.
Okay, gentlemen, which one of these slavers was the one that maybe had the keys to you guys? Do you know? Which one was in charge? Which one? I'm looking for the keys uncuff you. I'm talking the ones that haven't been undone yet. Do you recognize anybody around here? Anybody? Look around. Do you see the guys who might have had the keys?
Well,
You know where they might have kept them, where he comes from. I'll go look for him.
I think he was out back trying to escape, and I don't know if he did.
Does he
By
have
the
an
pool.
office? Do you know where?
No.
Out back by
I
the
don't
what?
know.
I'm sorry.
By the pool.
Are we talking about inside the fort?
He says, no, outside the fort. There's outside the back wall there's a door with a way to go to get fresh water.
Well, he's probably not hanging around out there.
But that's the last time I saw him, and he may have gotten away, he might not have.
Is there a doorway at one of these doors that he would normally? Do you know where his office would be,
No.
or a guard? Okay, I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna start looking for what might be, keys hanging up on a, a big key ring hanging up on a.
Okay, so we'll come back to
That's fine.
describing the fort. So, as Vanessa casts,
This spell takes a full turn. So if the timing isn't right, I'm just gonna sit down with Reginald.
oh, that takes a
Okay.
full turn, huh?
Yeah.
Repair.
Yeah.
Okay, well then,
I go over to
you,
Reginald at the end of the turn, at the end of this round, and I will sit down and lay him back with his head in my lap, and I'm speaking very calmly to him. Relax, breathe easy. The blend shall bless you. I'm getting out my prayer beads, and I'm preparing to next. I will begin to cast the spell, and it will
Okay,
take
yeah.
one turn.
so it's just verbal and somatic, so you,
And I'm
basically,
gonna roll with you.
yeah, basically you're moving your hands or whatever, and you're speaking, so as you said, you're speaking softly and kind of running your hands over it and gently touching the area that's fucked up. And at the end of the 10 minutes, you can see that the slow process of the healing, the magic sets. If you would have been interrupted before then, you know that as the mouth and everything was returning, it would have went back to its injured state. But you know the spell's over the moment that you just know, because the magic flows through you. And his face appears to be, or at least his injury that he took, the loss of teeth and everything is back to the way it should be. And then you also get to roll, I think, a d10 plus 1 on hit points.
Correct. And that's 10. All right.
So he probably looks a little better all over as well. So while that is going on, you're picking locks. You do have that little conversation, and then you head into the fort. And Shadrach, what were you doing? I already forgot. You were giving good berries out, and
One other thing I wanted to do was I'm going to look for that horn they were blowing.
okay. So
After the last week, I had got those people, they're looking for bandages and supplies.
okay, all right. So let's go to Covidius. You head into the fort.
Yes.
And the fort is basically, there is a back door. No, there's no other door on the fort.
Whatever
that's right.
closest to me is where I
But
go.
when you walk in the front there, you can see that it's just an open floor plan except for the middle, which there's a square that I've drawn out that apparently the tower goes all the way down to the floor. And there's a door to that tower as well, but that door is not open.
So inside this, other than where that square is, it's a big open space, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And it's open like to the air, like I can see the sky?
No, it's just an open floor plan. There's
Oh,
a roof
okay.
that's held up with poles and...
What's in here?
Like a lot of you can tell this is where
stuff.
people slept, and there's a cooking area, and like they lived there.
Okay, so I don't see like a big key ring on a wall anywhere. that
You
I
do
can
not.
see there. Okay. I go
Not
to
upon first glance. Now, if you want to do a search,
well, if
you
I
can-
don't see it
you
hanging.
can roll for that.
I mean, it could
And
be
that
laying on
takes
the
the
ground.
time.
I'm not looking for it.
Right.
I'll go into the door then. Apparently, maybe that's an office or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm going to the door and I'm gonna try and open the door.
All right. Well, it appears to be locked or barred. There's no keyhole there, so you can assume it's barred from the inside. And That would be a little weird because how do people get up to the roof if you don't see any steps in the open plan?
Well, I'm picturing there's stairs, probably, I'm thinking there's stairs in there, and there's still guards in there because it's barred, and, I'm gonna do search for keys in the room.
So I'm going to put
Or-
pick, you're over here unlocking people. Vanessa is right here. Shadrach was, I already forgot what the fuck
He was looking
Shadrach,
for
what are you doing?
You look for the
I was
horn.
next to Reginald, but I was looking around to see. Basically, I'm looking around to see if there's a Hollywood prop horn.
Okay, yeah.
hanging from the back somewhere.
Hollywood prop.
I gotta find Reginald's figure somewhere.
I thought we melted it down.
Well,
I just use that crumpled mass.
I would never do that to a figure.
Well, remember we were like live acting what happened to him on the burning ship? And
You must have done that while I was on vacation.
I played a BattleTech game at a
Here he
convention
is.
one time.
Okay, and then here's,
You got 5 minutes to paint your figure, and then if you killed somebody's figure, they give you a big hammer, and you just got to smash it. It was like,
Okay, so-
yeah! It's a great game.
Kettle Tom will hang out and just kind of hang out with Vanessa, maybe feeling a sense of kinship or protection, what have you. So, Shadrach, where do you look for this horn?
I'm just kind of like looking around, up on the walls maybe. Up on, like, you know, where they have like, where they would stand along the walls. But like I said, I'm looking for like a Hollywood prop. I'm not looking for like a little horn or a little wheel. I'm looking for like something would hang from a rack and they'd be like,
I understand that. How do you go inside the fort?
No,
You
I'm
climb-
sticking by Reginald and Vanessa. I'm just looking around like
Okay.
this.
All right. Well, roll me a perception check to see if you find a horn over here.
Got a D30 or 20.
D30 plus your intelligence.
$30.
All right, so from this vantage point, as you look around, you don't see any large horn on the ground or hanging on the outside wall of the fort or on the inside of the walls of the outer bailey. Okay, so
Everything I was searching for.
when you also
Or
when you
anything else.
entered the fort, I forgot to describe. There's dead bodies everywhere in here too, but none of the slaves.
So they're not slaves that are dead.
They do not appear to be. They look like
How do they look to be killed?
they're worn.
Obvious.
They wear a little better clothing than the slaves.
Do they look to have been killed by? I mean, how do they look to have been killed? I mean, is it obvious? Like, were they burned, or do they have slashes, like from swords or weapons?
Slashes and broken arms and lots of bruising and twisted necks. So various
There's probably
ways.
the outbreak of the slaves. Did you? Well,
So right now you're
looking-
standing at the door.
I'm
and
looking
you're-
for anything that could be of use, and what I mean by that is anything special. I'm looking for the keys. I'm looking for anything that might. Oh, hey, wait, this is whatever, you know, or I don't know. I don't know what it would be. I would find it. So I'm looking for anything of interest, specifically for keys. But as I look around the walls and anything that might fall to
you
the
see,
ground, or a slaver's body.
You see a few lamps that didn't get destroyed that are on little sconces in the walls. Lots of blankets and bowls that are probably full of feces and urine. The cooking area that's got moldy bread, and so
So I don't see anything.
you don't see, well, you see things, but no keys.
I mean, you don't want me to roll. That's not necessary here. I just assume that's a roll.
Okay, so yeah, so
I mean, unless
if
you
you're
don't-
gonna do a search,
Yeah, I'm searching for
okay,
it.
so go ahead and roll a d6.
I got a 6.
Okay, so in your search of the inside of the fort,
Doesn't
you do
produce
not
anything
find
value to
any,
whatever. Okay.
well, I mean,
I'm not looking for coin. I mean, when I say
right.
value, I mean something that might be helpful to the group or something. So.
Well, like I said, there's some lamps
That's
and
not what you know what I mean. Like,
chairs.
like the horn, maybe.
No horn.
A larger style weapon. I was looking for something that I might be able to. Larger. So I didn't think I'd see it, but that's what I'm looking for. Something bashing, not bashing, but something I can do some real damage to like a wooden door. I'm gonna go ahead when you allow me to.
Okay, but one other thing you do find is that there is a door on the opposite side as well.
And
you want to try it?
Well, yeah. Well, as soon as I see it, I'm going
to. It seems to be barred or locked.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just for shits and grins. I'm gonna knock on the door. Let me in! Let me in! Quick! Hurry! Open up! Let me in!
Okay.
No eyeballs that I can see in there.
No. And I will give you this just because I think you would know. Being from a different land,
I know.
You don't sound so.
Well, I know, but there's also.
It might
I don't know how many of the other Acaramians might actually have spoken
Very true.
some sort of English, so they'd be used to the sound. I can't be the only Acaramian. Obviously, there has to be Acaramians that speak English, or what are we in? Not Southern Mark.
Roll me charisma check.
They would never be able to
there we go.
communicate.
Roll me a charisma check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage or
correct?
19 and so 20, 30.
Well, that's a good
That'd
one.
be 30, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, and a natural 20.
Ooh, explode.
Which would be 18.
So 27 plus. Your
38.
All right. So. From the inside you hear. Don't open it, it's a trap.
So
and then you hear kind of 2 quick steps and then all's quiet.
So in Acaramian I say, I curse, damn it, open up or they're going to kill me! In Acaramian, don't know who's in there. It should be familiar with that gibberish as well. Which would solidify me as not being a slave. None of the slaves are from my land. Right?
Okay, so you wait for a moment or two.
Okay,
nothing appears to be happening.
So I start kicking stuff around on the floor outside the door and do up against the door and no, don't give me and then I go out the front door and look at it.
Very good. Okay, so you were attempting to, I'm assuming, like fool them with whatever you could. They roll another charisma check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage again?
Yes.
Come on, man, I ain't got a great charisma the way that. My lowest roll would be 24.
24. All right.
My highest roll, I rolled an 18.
All right, so make me an observation check.
Oh. 20, 30. No, 17. Yes.
Okay.
30.
You see a little bit of
Do simple math.
like dust fall off to your right, and you hear.
While I'm still inside?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
from
that?
where you are right there,
Okay.
and then you hear some footsteps from above, like someone's walking on the roof.
Okay. Does it sound like? And I'm sure you've
Because
heard.
it's a wooden roof.
I know, but you know how you can. If there's somebody walking over there or somebody walking over there,
I mean, it seems like
do I sound like they're walking towards that ballista in that corner?
Yes.
Okay. I go out front.
Okay.
And I
Okay, so by the time you get out front,
Let me know. I'm gonna address everybody. Let me know
you
when I
have
can.
the people, and where are you going to look for things? Because that guy had said, so when you come out, he comes out right as you're getting ready to head in there with the guy, and then you can say whatever you want. And I will be right back, because I gotta go wee-wee.
Pick. I need you to. Can you unbar a door? And I holler out to everybody else. Hey, they're moving to that ballista that wasn't destroyed upstairs. I'm trying to get up there to take care of them. I say that to everybody else. Oh, everybody else is gone too?
I'm here. I'm just walking around the house.
I don't think they can reach you with the ballista at the corner we're on because it's that back corner of the building. But I'm just letting you know, I hear movement moving to the ballista. Can you unbar a door?
I can try.
All you can see is Shad look up and then look down at Reginald and then look up again.
And I point back inside. I'm like, it's the back one, far away from us here. And I'm gonna deal with it. And I go back in. Hopefully, Pix follow me. Lead you right to the first door that's barred. There are people inside. I have a feeling they're upstairs now. I say that quietly, so as not to be. I'm not like hollering it out. So
Right.
I noticed.
Shad hollers now. Save one of them for me.
You see a thumb, an arm stick out of the doorway, and there's a thumb sticking up, and then it pulls back in.
Bring them to me. Please.
What do you do?
Otherwise, I'm standing there. I'm standing erect. I'm not kneeling down anymore. If anybody else is dead or dying, I would, of course, be trying to help them. But
There's hundreds of people. There's hundreds of people.
My attention's on Reginald.
There's hundreds of people at your feet, so I'm sure you could spend a day doing the triage work you guys are doing. I mean, at least.
But Shad is now kind of spacey. After he found Reginald, or they found Reginald, and he went to him. Now he's just kind of like staring around. All the dead people, all the just there's a lot of pain, and he feels it.
The carnage.
And he feels it. I mean, yeah, Chad is very powerful and he can hurt people.
So-
but also he feels that pain when he does. He feels that hurt. After the fact, he feels it. He doesn't like to hurt people.
So I
He gets
stick,
angry and it takes him over. So that's one of Shad's things.
just for shits and greens, I stick my head back out and I go, we found Reginald. That boat's getting further away.
I can't stop the boat.
Can't blow a hole in the side of it.
No. But now that I found Reginald,
Well, then it'll be back and it'll slave some more.
That Reginald was my first concern. I would have jumped on that boat alone if I could have and tried to save him. If
He's
anything,
gonna
I
be
can't even swim.
I can tend to these people if you want to help the warriors.
Nah, we're good. I mean,
They don't. If anybody climbs up there and tries to mount that ballista, I'll knock them off and kill them.
yeah,
How dare you?
it can't reach you guys anyway. So
The thing is, I can get up there faster probably than they can.
yeah, you wouldn't deal with them by yourself.
As soon as they show their faces,
We don't know
I'll
what
whiplash
to
them off
Or
the
who?
tower.
How many?
Here's the other thing that we didn't realize.
They wouldn't expect you to come up just side while I'm going to do it.
Right. We didn't realize there's going to be this many slaves. We're going to have to
Oh, we did.
feed them.
No, we did. We always seen
No.
them. The whole object was that we were to free the slaves. I even mentioned earlier. We're gonna have to see all these people back. What the fuck? I mean,
That's right. I did mention that I can feed them for a day.
Yeah.
That's about it. I can feed them every day, and that's about it. And it's
We
gonna
can
be.
do it, Les. We can do it.
there you go.
Okay, well, the other thing is, if there's a cart here, you might want to think of taking the cart, hooking the horses up,
Yeah.
and get stuff back. and
There's gonna be some that aren't gonna be able to walk, so we're gonna have to have a car. I mean, Cobb didn't get very specific with it, but there's gonna be those that either got a butt. Well, then again, someone with a bad leg or a missing leg ain't gonna be very useful to them anyway, so they probably wouldn't have anybody like that around here, unless they were injured in trying to escape.
Yeah. there's a lot of injured people.
Yeah, I would say.
And if we can find a cart and a wagon, yeah, get a caravan going
Well,
back to the monastery, maybe.
so far,
Yeah.
so far, there's no other buildings except this building that's just got the doorway to the tower, the center tower. There's no other buildings in here in this courtyard. There's no stables. There's no shit in here because the cop said it's vacant. And inside this room, it's just a big empty room. Well, it's a sleeping quarters with a bunch of dead guards in it. Let me say that. But there's no stables. There's no horses in here either. And I doubt they're up on the roof.
They're sailors. They wouldn't have horses.
Right. I'm just saying. I doubt we're gonna find a horse and cart. I mean, we got horses. But we're
Well,
not
the
gonna
thing
find a
is,
cart.
some of these slaves they got from the ground, they caravaned them here somehow across land.
Probably force march. You drop off and die. I don't care. I don't know.
Vanessa, can you get in contact with the monastery through the blend?
I'd have to research that a bit. I don't think I
I'm
can.
going to say, if anything, tell them, if you can contact them somehow, tell them to send people to meet us at least. Either, okay, we can do this. We can try to force march these people back to the monastery.
Well, I don't think we should
Or-
even force march. We'll just take it easy.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't really think we were going to do that. Or we can rest here for a while. We have a port now.
Yeah.
I could probably defend this fort by myself for at least a while. You know, I mean, but maybe the idiots will come back to the boat. Oh, I hope. I hope they come back with 2 boats.
We're just waiting for you.
Please. I'm willing to stay here and help these people.
Nick's gonna try to open the
But
barn door.
if we mark these people, we're going to lose people. We have a long way back to the monastery, and like you said, if there's injured people that can't walk, I don't remember there being a bunch of wagons around here.
You know, something else is they've got to be able to feed these prisoners too, so there's got to be a large volume of food around here somewhere too. I don't know where the hell it is, like I said.
Well,
No other
there
buildings.
might,
Another thing I
at the
could
very
think of,
least,
anything else they
covered.
could be having nets fishing off the
we have buildings
pier
where these
for
people
you
can
know,
stay and
for
hide.
nets.
And we should see nuts and everything else. There should be more gear around.
But if there's any slavers left, I want one of them for myself, and that's just my personal request.
I'll holler out before I send them down to you.
Because I have something I need to do with this person, and we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Yeah, just look up in a little bit.
Like I said, if anybody shows their face and fires a ballista, I'm windlash.
Are you any good at catch?
Catch?
Yeah, just look up in a few minutes and I'll send one down your way.
No, I need them alive. In decent shape, if you can manage it.
Well, I asked if you could catch.
I'm strong enough to catch them.
All right. I'll tie a rope around his neck and lower him down slowly.
I'm not very dexterous if that's involved.
Did you hear me? I'll do it. All right. I'll tie a rope around his neck and lower him down slowly.
I need him alive.
I thought you
In
could talk
good
to
shape.
I thought you could talk to the dead. What do you need him alive for?
He has more value to me alive.
There's a whole bunch of people in this room waiting to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to any dead people. I want to talk to a living person.
All right. I would hope if I offered them the terms of surrender that they will, but I just got to be face to face with them. Wait for Pick on bar door.
If you can manage it,
Or try to.
bring me alive.
Yes, sir. I think it's manageable unless they plan to go to their death. God's busy on his phone.
No, my air conditioner doesn't seem to be working right.
It feels comfortable in here. Do you wait and expect it to be cold?
I dare say the slaves did all the work.
You said 73 degrees. I mean, you're at 73
All
degrees.
the people that were
No,
left.
you said it's 73. It says it's 74, right? I don't know. What's it not giving you? Feel it's warmer than it should be?
Well, first of all, the fan should always be on automatic. regardless.
Does it not?
It was on, and I don't know how it got that.
Well, maybe your roommate.
No, he's locked out. He can't fuck with it.
Oh, well, can't you fuck with it right there?
I can, but no one else can. You gotta have a code.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Maybe even half.
probably not. Just seems a little odd. Sometimes if your condensate pump doesn't work, it will turn off your air conditioning condenser to keep from overflowing water into your basement or whatever that is. But the fan will continue to run because it's thinks that, oh, it's still not cool enough. So that's a little weird.
Could be
That's the
something
Lord
wrong
of
with your
your
AC.
give it the Freon.
But yeah, sometimes shit just up and breaks as well. So
You just turn it on? Because I just heard it turn on. Or is that the wire machine? I hear something somewhere down.
well, the machine, the washing machine or the dryer are not on.
Well, then your furnace is kicked back on.
So that would be good.
You hear it? I hear something.
No, but you're probably right. But I'm just fucking paranoid when it comes to that shit.
What do you feel anything blowing out?
Yeah, see, like the fan shouldn't be on. Right? If
Onward
the
and upward.
AC
Dang
isn't
it.
I
turning.
don't have a full house shit, so I don't know. I don't have any experience.
But I guess it's something I need to keep an eye on. Okay,
And it's gonna be getting awful warm this week.
I know.
It's just in the mid-90s. Low humidity though. That'll help.
Okay, so you came out and you told all the stuff,
Yeah, we talked for a long time.
and then what are you guys doing?
Pick's going in to try and open the door.
Okay.
I explained to him that I think it's barred.
So pick when you get in there, you see a bunch of dead bot, just as advertised.
Yes, sir.
And what are you doing?
I'm in there with him, waiting
Oh,
for him to
okay.
undo the door. I quietly told him that I know there's people in there. They kind of talked, and then I said, I think, and I warned everybody. I said, you're not in the way of the bliss because you're on this corner. I said, but I hear them moving over towards that bliss and I pointed to that corner. So,
You're gonna try to open that?
Yes, sir.
All right, roll your pick box.
That would be 50%. That's well below.
So paint me a picture. How do you get this bar off the inside of this door?
Get my tool, and I got the one that's a little bit stronger. Work it so I can pull it up, try to get it off the latch.
You hear a clunk as it falls off onto the other side. So apparently the bar is off.
I pulled that door as soon as we hear the clunk because I don't want them to surprise us.
Okay.
That's assuming there's anybody still in that room. I kind of think they all want upstairs, but I don't know. We'll find out in a moment.
There we go.
One day on another.
Okay. You open the door.
Sword out, ready to go, ready for battle.
And when you open the door, roll a d10. See if you're surprised.
Well, there's the weapon I was looking for.
Sure is. It looks like Michelle Dage
I'd be surprised. I'm
has a brother.
expecting to run into something. That was the whole. I'm ready to battle with her. I mean, I'm expecting. I'm just saying. I know it might be a mechanic. I'm just saying. I'm ready for. I know there's something in there.
Yeah, but I think you're ready for this. You're not ready for this.
Oh, I don't care how big they are. I should have proven that a long time ago. 9.
A 9. All right. You're not surprised. So, the door. You push open the door. And you see this
Go in
huge
or out?
motherfucker in there. It
doesn't
opens.
matter.
Yeah, in obviously.
Oh, well then. Yeah. Okay. So is he an Acroraman? I mean, what does he
No,
look like?
it looks like Michelle Dage's older brother, and he's got the bigger weapon. And
That weapon?
He looks like he's getting ready to fight you.
That
So
weapon?
It would be time for action.
That weapon?
Yep.
Okay. Is he wearing armor?
I think he is.
I mean, I can't see him too well over there. If you can let me, if that's what he's wearing, can I see it?
That's what he's wearing. Remarkably, you've
It looks more like he's got like stone skin.
you've seen this guy before.
Yeah.
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 This is somebody you can dusty.
Napoleon.
Oh, that. I was trying to think of more weird.
So actions, and you're closest, Covidius.
Attack
Hit.
and converse with him.
Attack.
Okay. Okay, you guys are out here. Your actions are pretty much done. So you have an action. What's up, Shad?
If I see anybody's head poke up on that tower, I'm casting.
Okay. You guys don't necessarily know what's going on there yet, so, but Vanessa, do you have any other action you want to do? I guess he's not there. And Kettle Tom's gonna stay, so apparently it's just you three for now. So, Covidius, roll initiative. Oh gosh. Beat a 10.
I don't want it then. Look, it's a 10, but that means a 1 on this side.
Okay. Alright, so Pick, what are you attacking with?
Bow.
Okay. So Covidius, you're up first.
I'm gonna say something to him as I move. I'm like, why don't you just stay dead? I'm going into attack.
Okay, you move up to threaten. And roll to hit.
Is he considered large? You
He
said it was
is.
like his brother? Okay. Sorry, just a second. Where's that? There it is. It's over here. Where's the red sheet? Here. Armor class 1.
Armor class 1. Now, let's see if that works. That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
And 15 points of damage total.
15 points. Nice. Alright. And
Good for me.
that's it.
Back to me.
Okay.
This turn.
So then Pick, you would be next.
Still 6 levels, so I can't
Then
do
I have to do a call shot.
If you want to avoid the chance of hitting.
your party in the back of the head.
Yep.
Oh,
I have to do a call shot.
Okay. So he got a 10, so you're still going to go first. So you're just a -4 to hit. So I roll 0. That is a miss. An arrow goes into the back wall back there.
Missed your headband
Okay.
that much.
so now I stepped in the room. There's nothing else in here, right?
Not that you've searched
mean-
for yet.
Well, I mean, there's nothing like, there's not a whole bunch of, a line of guards standing there.
No.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Apparently it's just
When I
him
meant nothing else in
and
here, I
a
meant
set of
enemy.
stairs that go up.
Okay.
I mean, like a crisscross
Sure.
wooden
Oh yeah, like
ladder.
yeah.
ladder.
I
Okay.
gotcha.
So it's this guy's turn, and even though, well, we'll see. He yells out in Acaraman, why did you have to come here? He hits an armor class of -5.
This beat by 1.
Okay.
Thank God, 'cause I really don't know what that thing feels like.
Okay. And then, are you going to take a second shot?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Right forward. 11. It's maybe honor class of -2.
That's a hit.
Or no, I'm sorry, of 2.
Still good. That's a hit. So your arrow this time goes sinks into flesh.
4 points.
4 points of damage. All right, this guy's second attack. It's an armor class of -6.
That hits.
That's a hit. You're considered small to medium. You take 8 points of damage and no chance of knockdown. And does anyone want to move?
No.
You can't because you took 2 shots.
I'm good.
You're good?
No, it doesn't matter where I'm at in that room attacking him. If I'm adjacent, he still has to. He still has a chance to hit me unless he does a call shot, right? As long as I'm engaged with this thing. If I move to the side,
If you're in melee, if you're threatening someone, then he's going to have to do a call
that's
shot.
what I meant. So it doesn't matter where I move. As long if I'm going to continue attacking this guy, I'm still going to be all right. I'm good.
All right, so 1 point. Well, 1 point of fatigue, 2 points of fatigue for you.
You were clear of everything else from last time.
Yeah, he said it earlier. On our journey back down to the beach, we
Okay.
cleared all that.
At the end of the round, he's going to move to here.
You don't like your arrows. Oh wait,
Alright.
you backed them up a square from or is that?
No.
I mean, do I? Okay.
I mean, you're either in this square or this
No,
square.
I just meant if he was getting away from me, do I get a free attack? That's
He's
all.
still in your front square.
All right.
All right, next round, actions.
I
COVID.
like your shirt, Kyle. I noticed it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Attack.
Action. You.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll have to move to be able to see him.
Understood.
All right, roll initiative. Pick. So you guys now hear a fight going on inside the fort, and you see Pick. Well, I guess you don't because he's still in the building. But there's some kind of sound going on inside the building, Vanessa and Shad.
I look at Shadrach, and I look at Tom, and I look at Shadrach, and I look at Tom, and continue helping the wounded.
Okay. Roll initiative.
He did.
Beat a 2.
Chad,
Oh,
look at Tom.
1. What'd you
Look at the
roll?
building and walk towards the
Okay.
building.
All right. So COVID, you're first.
First 2 attacks. Well, it's the other one's on the second one, right? The next phase.
Next phase, because it's with the same weapon.
Right. 19, which is going to be -9.
That hits. Roll Dacus. What the fuck, cat?
15 again.
All right. And then you would go again on the next phase.
-5.
That's a hit.
12 points damage. And I say, Nemesis sent me to kill you, as a reply to his request statement.
As you slash him again, he's like, ah! He says, yes, I'm acutely aware. Your turn.
I'm going to move.
To where you can get a shot, okay? And then, unfortunately, it'll still... Where do you want to go?
Move to my right.
This one square like that? And
Yep.
you can see him, but he's still going to have to do a called
Correct.
shot. Okay. All right. So, now he will get to go on the loser's side of this phase. Armor class of -11.
Yeah.
15 points of damage.
Oh,
And this time you do need to save versus paralyzation or be knocked down.
what am I rolling?
You're rolling
Oh,
save
paralyzation,
versus paralyzation.
Yeah, you never. Yeah, that's one thing that was missing from my sheet. I adjusted this one. No.
Failure. You are knocked down, and he will choose to leave you in that square, right there.
What do you mean choose to leave me?
Because he's a size larger, theoretically, he could knock you a square back. But he's choosing to leave you there. Okay, now it's your turn on the winner's side of slow.
That would be an armor class of 1.
I hit him.
Well, what's your, that go with your weapon?
Oh, 14, and then I get a +1.
Well, it'll be filled in, or it's already there, whatever it is. So with your weapon, 14 with bow, okay. So you hit an armor class of 2.
And I get a +1.
It's already figured in.
Okay. Then,
And then -4 puts you in an armor class of 6.
okay.
And that strikes up the shoulder pauldron, bang, and falls off, which means you barely miss.
Okay.
So now you should have a pretty good idea what armor class he
All
is.
right. I apologize for that because I thought I had that in.
Yeah, the program figures all the strength and everything, which is nice. Okay, so
But that
now
would have still hit anyway from the last one.
now we go
Yeah,
to
your last one does.
the winners, or no, that was the
He's
winner's
already
side of slow. So you get a second attack. I don't,
No,
or did you take it?
what round are we in?
Yeah, you would get.
What round are we in?
Oh, I see. This is round 3. That's right. So no.
No.
Okay. All right. So while you're on the ground, he gets a +4 to hit a prone opponent. So he is going to do a called shot and just make it even, and he is going to attempt to hit you. He's doing a called shot, but I'm going to let the thing say where he hits you. Oh, look at that! He missed. So while you're on the ground, he goes, and the thing goes, sinks right into the ground as you just barely, like, you use your shield, and you, instead of using your shield to block, you use your shield to like just barely flip you out of the way, and it goes like off the outside of the shield, and hits down to the ground. He goes, rah! Okay. And then at the end of the round, you can stand if you want.
Yes, because I've not moved. Does that matter?
Well, that would be your move.
That's what I meant. Because I didn't move.
Okay. All right. Well, it uses what did I say it was 3 points of movement to stand up. Was that the?
Well, I didn't
the
move,
thing?
so I'm able.
So
to
you
see
still
that
have,
penalty. I'm not trying to move. It's sort of, I
if
just
you
meant-
wanted, it
yeah.
was there. Okay.
I have a question though, just a clarity here. He looks exactly the same way as I fought him last time, other than maybe not with the weapon. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The weapon doesn't matter. I'm just saying, but him personally is dressed the same as the last time I fought him.
Yeah, he was in one of your outings. There was a, for lack of a better term, a what name did they give this thing? It was like a stone baby.
So he does look like he's covered in stone, so that would be, so that's more or less his armor. I was gonna say because he's not wearing armor, but he looks like he's stone-ish.
Well, I mean,
I just want to make sure
he is wearing armor, as you can see the pauldron on his shoulder. And
yeah,
the
but
leather.
that's not what I mean. I mean his skin looks like it's
It
stone
doesn't.
or something.
You don't know if it gives him extra protection.
Well,
You can guess it might.
you said I fought it before, so I would know. Is that flesh? Is it cut with a knife? Have I been cutting him in the flesh with the knife with my other attacks? I've not missed him yet, so I've hit him 3 times, and I have. So whatever that stony looking shit is, does cut.
It's not as. It provides more protection than plain skin.
But it does cut, and there is blood
Yes.
that's still coming out. Okay, so I mean, my tactics are about to be revealed.
All right, so
that's what I was asking.
next round. Does anyone? We got to do X. So that's what? 2 more points of fatigue for you. Hold on, Shadrach, before we get to actions.
No,
Because you
see
attacked
that?
once and you got up
okay,
on,
all right,
on the
all
phase.
right. Yeah.
And 1 for you.
My movement doesn't count.
Oh, did you move?
I had to move.
Did you move and fire in the same
No, I had to
phase?
move, and then I fired on slow.
Well, he could have just moved and fired on the slow.
You could, I just don't remember. So we'll just say you moved and fired on.
I
To save the
same phase.
fatigue, you could have
But-
just moved and fired on the phase you could fire on.
Right.
But technically, you moved and then you had to wait until. But
Well, let's put it this way. Now you know. So you use 2,
I'll
and
put
then
down 2.
you'll know better next time. That's fine. It's not.
See, that's the biggest thing when you're going in the fight.
Yeah,
Everybody's
see,
like, well, I'm going to run in and fight.
yeah.
So on movement, they run in. And it's like, well, your weapon's an average or slow. So you just ran up in front of them, and guess what? You ain't swinging first because they go first with their charge sword. So why run up there and wait until it's your turn to go up and then run up and you can hit them right away.
Okay.
Instead of giving them a...
Right.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Oh, he's got a filter of bugs on him. Nice. Okay.
That is fucked up.
All right. So everyone is aware that there's some action going on inside the fort. So
He still wants you.
we have yes,
waving us.
yes, Shadrach. I saw the bug.
I've been trying to move towards that building this whole time.
Oh, it's fucked up how the spider's just like running around his head.
All right. Where do you want to go?
That is fucked up.
Towards where Covidius went in the building.
Okay.
Right here at the door.
Man, that's creepy, dude. That spider run around just on your head like that.
All right. How close do you want to get to the fight inside? You can see Pick shooting a bow and arrow right here, and then you see some kind of commotion inside the inner tower there.
It'll be
I'm
fucked up
casting
if
the
it-
ground.
So your action is to cast, okay?
Randy would be fucked up if it like went to his mouth and this.
Vanessa, you are you're done. So do you have an action?
I'm not done. I'm helping the wounded.
Oh, you're sticking with other people, but now, okay. So because
Yeah.
Reginald's all that time has passed.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to heal
Okay.
and help people.
All right.
And I'm going to use one more repair injury. You mentioned a person that had their eyes gouged out.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
help that as well.
So you go over to that person, and it's like an older gentleman, and he's like just holding his hand over his eye, and
It's the same. And I soothe and tell them to relax. And you can stick with the
Okay.
battle. We don't have to play it out. I'm going to continue helping wounded individuals for the rest of the day.
Reginald, do you have an action?
He's relaxing and recuperating.
Okay, Kettle Tom will help you up and over to the outer wall and face inward, and he'll kind of hang out and try to keep watch over all of you people. All right.
Thank you, John.
So Shadrach, I don't know if you can see the map here, but from where you are, you can see Covidius, but you have a hard time getting a bead on this other guy that's in there.
I should have tower always.
So be aware of that when you cast the split your spell choice. And you can't move before your spell is finished, so. Alright, and action from you, continue to fire.
Yes, please.
Alright. Roll initiative, Shadrach. Beat a 4. A 2. Alright. Covidius, you're up.
I'm going to do a call chop.
Alright. So normally you would go on fast, but you're delayed a phase. So on, what is the casting time of your spell, Shadrach? 5, okay. So now on average, Covidius, you would go first.
I'm doing a call shot on. Is this the way he's holding it? Is he holding it
Hold
way
it just like it's,
So yeah, so he's holding it like this, so he's attacking like this. Right?
amongst other ways. I mean, he's
Why?
not specific, he's trained with it, so he can like jab with it, or he can go down like that. So there's multiple attack
No, I
angles.
just meant I'm
He's holding it with 2 hands.
Right. And I know the weapon, so it's a 2-handed weapon, correct?
Yes.
I'm just making sure, I'm
It might,
verifying.
it might be, I mean, let's put it this
Well,
way.
to me it would be, but to him it might be something different because of the
For
size.
you couldn't probably use it. It's too big. It's a 2-handed weapon for a large creature, which means you couldn't use it. Because you're medium, and you would have to have 3 hands.
I don't have a third hand.
Well, you might.
It might stick out. Yep. A little hold.
I would say now would be the time to reveal that incredible talent if you possess it.
I'm bashful. I am going. How tall is he? I'm looking at heights. How tall is he, approximately? How much taller is
9 foot tall.
Okay, so
He's just
He's a
barely
little taller
large
than
enough
this room.
to fit inside this room. Let's put it that way. That's how tall he is. He's very close to the ceiling.
okay, going for a throw cut.
All right, roll Dankus. Or roll to hit.
That would
So
be
what did you hit regular? What would you have hit without the -4? Just tell me that. That go minus your dice roll.
Well, I just do it differently. So I take the 14 and make it a 10. And a 10 would hit armor class 0. Can I do it that way?
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that hits. Roll damage.
So what were you...
Or roll a d20.
What were you
Yeah.
suggesting I do to do it? I would have hit an armor class of -4, and then you would have what? I'm just trying. What were you trying to tell me to do? That's not the way I normally do it.
Just roll your to hit and tell me what armor class you hit, and then I would apply the.
Oh, you were going
adjustment.
to do the. Okay, I'm sorry. Roll 20. An 8.
And what does that hit? What armor class does that hit?
It would be armor class 2.
Okay.
Wait, am I subtracting the 4 from it again?
Okay.
Huh?
So no.
Then it hits armor class 2.
Okay. Roll your weapon damage by itself.
7.
Okay, double that,
14.
and now add your strength or other adjustments.
21.
21 points with a slash to the throat. And blood flies out, and he's like, ah! A mighty blow, but apparently this guy was able to roll with it just enough to where it didn't cut his head off.
Well, I'm trying to cut his off. I'm trying to cut his throat open. Massive blood, inability to breathe, choked on his blood. Should go down any normal
Floor's gonna start getting slick.
bean. Oh yeah, well,
Okay,
Hands are slick, he's not gonna be able to hold on his weapon.
usually the first thing that happens when somebody gets their throat cut, no matter how it happens,
okay.
a hand goes straight through the throat. The whole. It's usually a pretty short-lived life at that point, but we'll see.
There it is. Okay.
We will see.
All right. So he's certainly like fighting, and you slash, and he's like going, kind of holding on, and then he just, and as the blood continues to pour out, he just fucking cowboys up and tries to slash you on the loser side of average. Yep, he misses because apparently that certainly weakened him. He hit an armor class of 2.
Not quite.
Not good. Not even close. Okay, now we go to.
I have a
don't
question.
you have a? Yeah, you should go. Well, but you're doing a called shot, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Can
now we go to slow. But you have a question.
Yes, since I get to attack this round, if I only made
Hey.
one of them a called shot,
Hold on, Shadrach. We'll get to you.
I went on 5.
I know you're coming.
if I
That's
did,
ended.
No, I know you're right. You're still coming. Hold on.
if I, all right, so I did a called shot on one, but my second one, so I had to wait the next phase. Does that automatically push my second attack to the next phase?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay,
Because you
that's
can't
what I was
do 2
asking.
attacks in the
Now,
same phase.
okay, that
Unless
was
you
my,
have
to
2
answer my
different
question.
weapons.
Now, if I can I automatically make my second attack a called shot because I'm already having to wait to that next phase?
Well, you have to state in advance it's a called shot before you roll,
Well, yeah, I'm not
and
rolled
then
yet.
you're delayed to phase.
So I'm already delayed to phase,
Unless you,
so it doesn't
so
matter. I
you
can't
have to
double
declare
up.
ahead of time when your actions. You'd have to say 2 called shots, but it's going to delay to phase either way.
Okay, so I'm in. I'm being delayed to phase because my other
All right,
delayed
so
phase. I didn't know
Shadrach,
that
your
mattered.
turn. Go.
That's fine.
I'm casting Frost Whip
What is it?
Frost whip,
Frost whip. Wow.
second level,
Okay.
verbal traumatic. As I step into the door and I see this large person who looks like that same large person that should have been dead already.
Okay, so if you were going to move any, then you can't
Well,
cast
I
a
was
spell.
already you already said I could see this guy.
No,
So this
no,
is-
that's not what I said. I said,
This is the verbal, the description. As I step in the door, I said I was casting, I see this guy. From my hand, as my eyes turn kind of a bluish white, this white smoking rope touches the ground, and there's frost all around where it touches on the ground. And I'm just saying, sister of the winter, bring me your deadly breath. And I look right at the guy, and the next round I'll attack.
Hey, Shad, I'm going to take a picture real quick so you can see this. You stepped in the doorway, but we're not in that. We're in another whole room. And the guy's not standing in the doorway.
He told me I saw him through you.
I'll let him answer that. I'll take a picture so you get a better idea of where
that's
everything's
what
situated.
I had a hard time seeing him through you. All I did was cast my spell. I cast Frost Whip and stepped in and cast Frost Whip. That's what I did.
All right, dude. I sent it.
I'm not attacking. I can't see.
Yeah, I sent it. Take a look at the picture. You're at the doorway to the fort, okay?
I'm in the doorway of the building, and I.
No, you're the door. Yeah, you're the doorway outside, and we're in another room, and he's on the round
I
corner.
understand that. I just said what I did.
All right.
6 foot long beam. Okay.
Can't even see him.
So
from here.
you're 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You're the guy that you can't really see is 35 feet away from you. So.
That's fine. I'm not. I just want to know what I can see.
Well, you can see Covidius inside the inner tower, but you don't have infravision, so you don't know what he's fighting, other than he's fighting something.
That's fine. And I cast Frost Whip. That's fine. I put a Frost Whip in my hand. That's what's in my hand right now.
Okay, and then you can take a half move at the end of the round.
I'll do that.
Okay, very good. And then we go to pick on the winner's side of slow.
I have 2 people I'm going through now.
Nope, still Covidius.
Natural 18, so that's 14.
So you hit an armor class of -4. With the -4 on the call check, you hit an armor class of 0, which is still a hit. Roll it.
3 points.
3 points. This guy's starting to look pretty hurt already. Okay. And then, so this guy will take his second attack
Before me getting my second?
because you're doing a called shot.
Well, no, it wasn't a call. I was asking.
So you're not
the
doing a
question.
called shot.
I was
Then you-
asking the question
Okay.
how it would work
So you
with
can do a straight attack.
with being dumb. That's what I was
All right.
curious.
Rolled it.
For like future. 13 is armor class -3.
That's a hit. This guy doesn't seem. He seems to look more armored than he is. Like, apparently if his skin is rocks, it's like the softest rock that there was ever made.
13 total. I don't get a chance for knockdown on a little bit of sword on a big guy. I don't know why I even was thinking that.
Okay.
And I'd like to follow that up with a, you don't have to die here. We're not slaves anymore.
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Once again, he's like, "Ugh!" And he swings.
Yes.
This time, he hits an armor class of -11 again.
Yeah, definitely.
Covidius, take 11 points of damage. And yes, roll for knockdown, please.
Hold on.
You're saving versus paralyzation. All you do is meet it or beat it.
20. Oh, no. I rolled 9 and 11.
Okay, so once again, you're knocked down in the square, and this time he will knock you back 2 squares. Or 1 square, so to this square right here. Okay, so,
So do I see Covidius come flying back out of the room,
well,
basically?
he's not out of the room, but he's right in front of the door.
On the ground. Something knocked me to the ground at the door.
And then we go to very slow, and you get your second shot if you want to take it.
Please.
Okay. And you rolled
15.
a 15, so you had an armor
Minus
class of 1, and then you subtract 4, means you had an armor class of 5, and as you might remember, that's exactly what you needed. Roll Dinkus.
4.
Wow, okay, this guy's like, he's got 2 arrows in him, 3 arrows, and he's bleeding all down the front of him. He's like, ah, and he just knocked you on your ass, and as you're kind of on your, you hear the clanking of the metal, and as you're trying to get ready to do, or at least look around, you can see he's like, ah, he's not doing very good at all. Okay, so then, at the end of the round,
I would like to stand.
you may get up, and do you want to stay in this square, or do you want to use...
No, I'm good. I'm good there for a while.
Okay. And then Shadrach, you want to move in, and you can get to the door, I guess, but COVID's right in the doorway, so you can move through him if you want to get in the room. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm seeing red right now, so I charge. Or I move forward as maximum.
Okay, well, you can get to right in front of Covidius, or you can be on his left or his right.
I'll try to cover him from this guy hitting him since he's on the ground.
Well, that would be
No,
as
I've
close
already
as you
stood
get.
up, dude. It's next round.
I will take to his left since
Okay.
he's right-handed.
All right, so you're on his shield arm there, okay?
Yep.
And then with the loser side of the movement phase, he will attempt to flee. And since none of you have range on your melee attacks, you
I
will
have
go
6
1,
foot range in my whip.
2. He goes through the door for 3, and then 4. The door is left open.
Unbars it on the way out.
Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8.
His
And
whip.
that is the end of the round. So 2 fatigue points, unless you attack twice, then it would be 3.
I did.
2 attack fatigue points for you, and Shadrach, you would do 1. Okay, and then we go to the next round, and this door is now open. So we will do actions, and we'll start with COVID.
Pursue.
Your action is to move.
Pursue. Attack.
Your action is to attack. Okay.
Pursue.
All right.
Pursuing.
Shadrach.
Same thing. Pursue attack.
Okay. Pick.
Attack.
All right. And I'm guessing, Daryl, your characters are going to maintain what they're doing.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I'm not
So,
jump.
roll initiative. Pick. 3 to 4. Another one. You guys are sped up. Awesome. So, if you're going to go forward, then you're going about the same. So,
Well, no, I can reach him.
what is your movement?
14 or 16 or what's yours pick?
15.
I'm 16. Sorry.
So you can move 8 squares.
1, 2, 3,
1,
4,
2,
5, 6,
3,
7, 8.
4, 5, 6,
7 should, I can hit him there, right?
You can. He will turn to face you, obviously. And Shadrach would move as well. So we'll just put him here
If
for
I can
now.
move within 6 feet of him, I'll do that and strike.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are, yeah, because that's 5, so that is. So,
Does his
you
whip
go
thing
first.
give him range though?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
then
thought I
if
read
it does,
that.
he can hit him from there, right?
That's what he's saying he wants to do, yes.
6 feet.
Yeah. All right. So roll your attack on fast.
Armor class -2.
That's a hit.
13 points of damage.
13 points. How do you want to do this?
I go up, stick the dagger in. This time instead of not dagger, but instead of doing the slash, I walk up and I don't walk up. In my battle stance, I go up there and I lunge forward, sticking the gladius just right into the hilt, into his throat, until I feel that bone hitting the blade, which would be the spine, the back of the neck.
Ooh, that probably hurt.
And I pull it out and let some even more blood gush out, and step to the side as he right on the ground next to me.
And a little bit of a thud. Just the blood is like kind of does a weird.
And I'm looking at him waiting.
He's just face down.
Turn to dust now, motherfucker.
All right. So as far as we know, combat is over.
No, there were stairs inside, wasn't
Go
there?
ahead, Shadrach.
Shadrach steps forward, just kind of like dashes the whip across him and puts a frothy lash area across his back, and then looks up to the tower, to the steps or ladder, whichever it is.
No, that's back in the
And looks at
room.
Covidian.
That's in the room that we just left, the stairs.
Okay.
In here is that wooden floor up on the ceiling.
I kind of like paint the guy with the whip and then look at Covidius. And then, now what?
Up the stairs. And I head back into the room to go up the stairs.
I follow him.
So that's
Not
it.
you.
Movement and 2 more points. Movement and 1 attack.
No, just one because you moved and
moved and
attacked in the same
attack.
phase.
Okay.
This tower here, is it just a square tower that goes straight up?
Yeah.
Well, it disappears in the floor upstairs.
Okay.
It goes through the roof. You'd imagine that's what you saw from the outside.
And how tall is this?
You need to remember it being like 50 or 60 feet tall.
Yeah, I'll go upstairs. I'm not going to climb the outside.
Okay, so basically all of you run back in,
I'm going
and then you
first.
decide so you're in front, and you guys start going up the steps, and he's clanging along, and you got the druid behind, and you're pretty much a little quieter, following in the third place, and then there's like a trap door or something covering the roof there that you'll have to open somehow.
It's going through my mind as I'm moving up the stairs. So you said this guy looked like the older brother of Pickle Rick, whatever. But I don't remember the other guy from my past at all, do I? Did he really look a lot like him?
I mean, you.
I'm just making sure.
As you kind of think back, and you're like, no,
So I only remember.
probably not.
I mean, they're big guys, so if I would recognize another big guy. I mean, I would kind of remember. Okay, I just make sure. All right. So when do I get to the top? There's a.
The door isn't open. You're gonna have to press it and open it if you want to go up there.
So is it like just hatch size? Like maybe a 3 foot?
It's like a 5 by 5 piece of wood.
You guys ready? I'm gonna flip it open. I don't know what might be waiting for us. Shadrach, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I can do it with one hand. Sorry, my shield, sword. And I'm gonna wait.
What's your maximum press?
330?
Okay. It doesn't budge.
Oh, so it feels like it's. Does it feel like something?
Could be locked. Could have
So it's locked from the outside.
Something like piled on top of it.
Yeah.
Could
Well,
could be some bunch of guys standing on it.
Well, that's what I was
Whatever is more than that.
That's why I was asking, is there any mechanism inside that would lock it, so I would know that it's probably something on top?
I mean, there is a sliding thing if you wanted to lock it
inside?
from
Okay.
the inside.
So I
but
doubt
it's
that
not,
yeah.
it's not locked or slid
I know.
from the inside.
No, I was just asking if it's inside. If it's inside, it means there's probably not one outside. They put something on it, or there's people on it.
Okay, well, Real easy. Lock it. Set wood on fire.
Okay. I slide the latch over and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going back downstairs then. I don't have anything light with on me, so. When do you guys take care of the match?
Is there enough room for me and you up there?
Yeah, I move out of the way. I slid the latch. It's locked.
And you.
I can't open it. There's something on top.
Bob might be able to push this guy off.
Okay.
He's probably just sitting on top of it.
I'll give it a shot. No, it's got to be more than a guy. But I'll give it a shot. I'll try to open it with you. So that will that work? He's going to help. 'Cause he's got-
right now, Bob.
What's your maximum? Well, you wouldn't. That wouldn't be on your sheet. Let me look it up real quick.
It's 1850.
Player's handbook. Where are you? There you are. Let's see. You have a maximum press of.
Are you always 1850 when you do this, Phil?
This is ox strength.
I know. Are you always 1850?
Yes. Okay. So the both of you push, and it's like it starts to go up, and but it's heavy, but it's moving. So it's not like you can just. It's like, and then you got to take a step and push it up some more, and then take another step. So you guys are exposed as you're pushing up, and you hear something starting to slide off the back end, as if now it's getting a little easier. But at that moment that you're both pushing on it and holding it up, and even if you say, well, I'm using my shoulder and using it as cover, doesn't matter. This is what's going to happen. You are exposed, and right then the guys somehow, there's like 3 guys in that corner over there with the ballista, and they just go and shoot it right into the hole.
I'm gonna hit one of them.
And they were ready.
Maybe.
They were ready in their action. So, I would like both of you to make charisma checks, and let's see who they aim for. It doesn't matter because they go for the shiny guy.
Gonna roll the 1.
No, it didn't matter. Ooh, okay. Armor class of -6.
Well, he hit me even if I was able to use my dex and my shield.
And unfortunately, you weren't able to. All right, so
Oh
unfortunately,
wait, is this a missile weapon?
I don't remember.
I get a. It's not a missile weapon.
Yeah, but how are you using your shield to?
No, I don't. I don't know.
That would be super convenient.
The missile, the protection against. Yeah, that's just with the shield, isn't it? Never mind.
Okay, there it is.
No, wait.
Okay. Covidius, you take. Let's just roll that at the same time.
Once I've been hit with this before. Suck.
Well, you only take 7 points of damage, and as luck would have it, it does not knock you back any, or even a chance for it. It like strikes you, and it bounces off the side where your banded mail, and it like, king, goes almost like through it, and you take that damage. But then you're like, ah, and then you, with the rest of your movement, you manage to open the thing, and then you can get out on the top and redraw your weapons if you choose, or you can not.
Yes.
Okay. And that is the end of that round. And Pick, you want to get up there as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, you're allowed to move up there. Okay. And the reason you're not out of fire is because it takes a little bit of time for all this to happen. This is a fucked up
Did I not get
situation.
an attack that round?
Okay, no. All right, now it's
Can I
actions.
say something before?
Sure.
This is your one chance to surrender, or you will die. And they're not acronyms though, right? Because I say them.
No.
I say them.
All right. So at the end of the round and the resolution,
As the guy they just hit with a
we'll
ballista standing there
morale.
giving them, and I obviously
Yes.
passed the giant downstairs
Yes,
with the axe.
that's why it's a morale check. So they got to roll really high because they're just dickheads.
They could roll really high though,
Oh,
which is
no.
fine, all right.
Okay, next round, actions.
Attack.
Shadrach, action.
So how far are we from the ballista? That far? Is that where we're at? Like in conjunction?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Well, get
Oh,
rid
wait, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Get rid of the big guy.
You would be
He's dead.
here. Okay, and so what happens is that opens up there, and then that's like an
Yeah.
even
Yep.
thing, so there's like a space in between. So you would have, like you were starting to climb, you climbed down to this part of the roof, and that's where you were done. You couldn't go any further. So you're actually,
Yeah. Oh, it went up higher?
you're actually like 20 foot down from up here. This goes.
Oh,
up
they're 20 feet higher than we
and
are.
This goes up 20 feet higher,
Okay.
and then this is all a flat, the roof.
So is there a ladder going up or something?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then there was a ladder going down as well, which is you guys all climbed down.
Oh, from the thing
From
there. I
the
got
top
you.
here.
I got you.
All
So
right.
that's the same height as the ballista heights?
The top of the tower. Well, no, not quite. The top of the tower goes a little bit higher than this.
They were able to shoot into it with a ballista?
I don't know, man. Let's just
Shorter?
fucking roll with it.
Okay.
Okay. So, roll initiative. COVID. 3 to 5.
A 6.
Okay. Well, that's good because
on,
now
man.
they
Well,
immediately fucking look at each other and they're like, "Eh," and they let go of the ballista and they put their hands up.
Get down here. You gotta climb down the ladder. Get
There
down
you
here.
All
All right,
right.
Shad, you got 3 of them. Which one you want to talk
Okay,
to?
so that's their turn. So now we go to fast on the losers. Who wants to go?
I say, I change my action. I'm not going to attack because they've surrendered.
For now, you can always change back.
Well, for right now,
You can hold
I'm holding.
Who's the leader?
as you're like looking up. Shadrach, did you want to do something?
Get his hand up.
How closely are they grouped together?
They're like within a square of each other, so they're not like they're not like holding hands, lovebirds.
Okay, well, the frost whip can hit anybody in an arc within 6 feet. I would like to know if I can hit all 3 of them in a 6 foot arc by just whipping across in front of them.
He must have missed your description.
You would have to move to get close enough, and then do a melee attack, and you can hit two of them,
But
2 out of the
It
3.
was 20 feet.
All right.
They climb
Is
down.
there an obvious leader?
Okay, so pick S. Is there a leader? And the one's like, no.
So you
The one
climbed
who
up here
spoke-
to this ballista and acted on your own. Who
The
said
one
it?
who speak, I hit him
Down
with
the
the
left.
crossbow.
The guy on the left is yours, Shadrach.
Okay, so the DM will remind the players,
Yeah. Well, you
depending
don't
on
remind
what
me,
your
'cause I was getting ready to say the
alignment
same thing.
is, if you go ahead and beat a person who's surrendered, that is considered evil, and if you do have abilities or powers which are based on your alignment, that may affect your ability to use those things.
You beat me to roll
So-
that out, by the way. I was going to mention him.
Just be
I thought you
careful.
were good.
Be careful. Yeah, but some things are, you have to be neutral to be a druid, and if you go around killing guys that surrender, that's evil. So you're not allowed to just do what you want if you're going to get special free powers for it. If you want to play a neutral fighter, then I guess it's okay because you're not getting anything special for being a fighter. But if you have divine-based powers and they're coming from an ethos of the cosmos, which states isn't like specifically killing guys is advancing your cause, then there are repercussions for that. So I don't like to sandbag or play gotcha questions with these fucking alignment issues. I lay it all out ahead of time. That way you can make your own choice, knowing that there could be a thing. So we're back to we're in fast, and he answered the question, and then you said, well, there's your guy, Shadrach. And so, Shadrach, do you do anything this round?
I guess I go on average. Let me know what happens.
If it's only a 6 foot whip, you go on fast. Regular whips are longer, that's why it takes longer.
Like 18 feet.
So,
I raise my hand. There's tears running down my face. And I just dance it across his feet and drop the whip.
now you
So
can like do, what do you call it, non-lethal,
Subdual.
and that's perfectly fine, because you'd have to roll extraordinarily well
I will do
to do lethal damage with brawling or non-lethal. You'd have to do like this massive amount of super thing.
We can't do that with a magical whip that does frost damage when you hit
The whip
Well,
itself.
he's
does
got to roll the
44.
hit. So let's say he rolled a natural 20 and exploded into another natural 20, and then exploded into another natural 20. Even if you start having this damage, shit still adds up, and if you do enough damage with a brawling attack to kill him, then he's dead regardless.
I'm just saying.
What
So
I'm saying
he's most likely a peon, but let's say he
What I'm
does hit
saying
him
is
without a natural 20. He's still got that frost shit that
Chad
happens.
resists, Chad resists that with that
slap in the
urge
face.
to just beat this guy to death, and just says you're not worth it. And I dispel the spell and turn away. Just tears streaming down my face, and that's it. I'm done.
Roll
I can't
roll a charisma check with advantage, because you your role playing of your personal dilemma is good, and I'd like to reward that.
After a minute, not to kill
With
him.
advantage, I rolled a 31.
All right, so you scare the shit out of these guys. One of them poops his pants. The other one falls down into the fetal position, and the third one just stares there blankly as you whip across the front of where they're standing. And then they just look at you, and they're like stunned and gobsmacked and quiet, just waiting for what's going to happen next.
I go back downstairs.
And that is
I
the
climb back up and I go back
end
downstairs.
of, unless you want to do anything with your
I
action.
use it all for movement.
Okay,
I climb
so
back up
you-
to a certain thing and I go back downstairs.
Okay, and that's what
I
you
don't
do.
say nothing. I just do.
Pick, what do you do? Because you didn't do anything either. You're gonna follow COVID. Okay, so that leaves you up there, Shadrach. You can go ahead and take a half move at the end and follow your friends, or you can, like,
Are they still up there?
they have exited and they're going back down to the floor.
Then I'll be the last one down.
Okay, all right. So we'll take that as read. You leave these scared shitless last three remaining slaver flunkies to their own devices. And where do you guys go when you go down? Do you leave the fort?
I go
Well,
back
we got to
outside.
gather all the people up and feed them, get them all cleaned up and organized.
I
Come
go
on
back
now.
outside where the other two are healing people.
All right. So COVID makes his way around the building over to Reginald and Kettle Tom and Vanessa. Do you guys join them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can all have any kind of conversation you want now. You have successfully defeated the slavers of the old fort. Congratulations.
What time?
Hey, us.
Chapter 2 is almost over. Go ahead, and if you guys want to talk about it, you can see Vanessa has been making her way. You can see a string of tended to patients. You
I
see
go
Kettle
over to
Tom
Vanessa.
kind of hanging out with Reginald, who's slumped with his back against the outer wall there, just like looking better than you've seen him in a while. His mouth is no longer full of jagged, sharp teeth, and his busted lip is back together.
I
And
go over to Vanessa.
go ahead, you guys can run the scene. I'm gonna get some more
I go
water.
to Vanessa.
Go right ahead.
Vanessa, is there anything I can do to help you? There's a bunch of blankets inside, and I point back to that room I came out of, the building I came out of. I mean, is there anything else you need? Is there anything I can do to assist you?
You know, we can probably use clean water.
Cobb, when I was
Maybe
searching
if
that room, did I see clean water or a well or anything like that? I guess I
There's
would
a
see a
pond
well
outside
instead of
that's fresh water. Just bring
Hold
that.
on, one at a time. Listen to Vanessa. She just said something that's gonna answer your question.
I heard.
Okay.
There's a pond outside that's fresh water. It's fed by the spring. That's where they get their water. And the blankets, like you said, that's a great idea. I know that I can send a message to Abbot Patrick, but I'm going to need an area that I can't be disturbed. Kettle Tom, if you would be kind enough to stand watch.
Kettle Tom, when you mention his name, he says, "You think we should move everyone into the fort, or do we think there's going to be anyone that's going to come back in the near?" I think no one's going to come for a while, but that's just me, and I'm not in charge. So, but that's my suggestion.
Having people inside the fort is a good idea, and bar the gates. Reginald pipes up. At that point, I'm going to bar the gates. I'll get people together. I'll see who's able.
Go ahead.
While they're doing that, when I go looking around the other area, is there like a stable,
No stable, you just see all the empty pins, like the wooden cells that I described in the back. The gate over there that's open, that leads to the pond. The gate up here that's open, the gate over there that's open, and the front gate that's open. Some of the people have started taking the corpses and they've started taking them outside the fort on their own volition. Other people are still following you around, trying to help you with whatever. And a few people have kind of started following Vanessa, oohing and eyeing over the miracles that she's performed or is going to perform, and they're trying to help her, and sometimes they're getting in the way, and she's like, get back, give me some room. Kettle Tom is going to say, hey, Reginald, I'll help. So he will help start getting people and moving them into the fort as well. And you see 3 sheepish guys going out the back with no weapons. And you can shoot him in the ass or not. That's up to you.
nope, I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm looking around. Is there a cart or a wagon or anything like that that can be pulled by a horse?
You know what? Roll me a luck check. Let's see. That's a level check on 30. So you're going to add your level to you want to get a 31 or higher.
Not even close.
No. Okay, so yes. So in your search, there is no cart.
Okay, my second thing is, I'll ask these people if they know where the kitchen is, because these people had to cook someplace.
Yeah, and you didn't necessarily see it, but they take you back inside and show you it's on that left wall over there.
Okay, because we're going to have to definitely get these people fed. I know they can create food and water. I don't know if there's anything back there. I don't know if there's anybody that can cook. But we got 70-some people to feed.
There's a lot of this oddball little, it's not like what you're used to. It's not like oats. It's not wheat. It's like this smaller commodity that apparently the Akaremans traded and left behind, and they call it rice. And they can use that and mix it with animal fat to make a filling meal. And then they also say that we've had to do some farming a little further down off the left using the water from the pond. And they say that there's like gardens over there that sometimes if they force the people to go out there and do the gardening under watch, under guard.
I'll look at these people and say, can you guys start getting this handled? And
they're like, absolutely. So basically, unless somebody wants to do something specific, the rest of the day, go ahead, Shadrach.
First of all, the 3 guys walking away, are they trying to like just walk off? I'm going to say stop. You. Stop.
So make me a perception check, because you're over here on this side, and Pick had said that he was going around looking to collect things and help the people. So if you can make a perception check, I'll say that you just happened to wander over there. It's intelligence plus your D30.
Ooh. Seriously? 36.
Okay, so you just happen to like wander down to the corner, and you can see those 3 guys that were up on the top. They're walking out the other gate, and you go, stop! And make me a charisma check straight, and let's see if they do it or if they're like, fuck you, and they run.
23.
Okay, so they stop, and they turn around, and they're looking nervous. You're pretty far away, though. You'd have to yell at them, or you can approach them, or do whatever.
I'll approach them.
Okay. So you're now in the clear for the secret. Oh. You're way over here, just so you're aware. Okay, so you're talking to those 3 guys. Okay, they did not appear to be armed or anything.
Help them gather the bodies and put them in a pile. Do it now.
one of the people that's around, they're like, no, if they stay, we kill them. We're not working with our former slavers.
I look at him, and I look back at them, and I say, run now. And I start to cast.
They run.
And I stop my casting.
Now, were you fake casting or were you real casting?
I was fake casting.
Okay.
I was putting my hands in the air.
Going booga booga booga, that kind of thing. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. So after that, what do you do?
I go help them gather bodies and tell them to put them in a big pile, and we're going to burn them.
Okay.
It's
So
it's
one
the
of them's
best thing
like,
to do.
we was just throwing them off the dock to feed the fish. You sure you want to burn them?
They'll rot in the water. That's not a good idea. We should burn them and send a message also. When they come back, they'll find a pile of bones.
One of them goes, that stink.
No, not for long.
Speaking of the water.
So where do you want to put them then?
Right there, let's burn the dock and burn them on the dock.
Okay, and a lot of people start doing that. And you were going to ask a question?
Do we see a big pillar of smoke still heading out to sea?
How long does that
And
spell
going
last?
around,
How long? 6 rounds? Yeah, it's gone. And I will allow you to make a perception check, but you got to roll very high to see if the ship is on the horizon. You rolled an 8. It was close. Yeah, it flipped over. So as you kind of look, and the sun's kind of starting to come down over the, you're on the back end of the day, and you look and you don't see any ship on the horizon.
I just wanted to make sure that nobody was turning around and coming back.
Apparently not, although they could have landed just further down and then they're coming back, which,
I swear, now I'm paranoid.
I think
right.
if they do the food.
yes, I would agree. Okay, so at some point, all the dead are gathered, put on the dock, set on fire. If anyone wants to do anything special for that event, you may. Okay, well, I saw you, Daryl. Let me just describe a few more things. Vanessa, you are done with your rounds, basically. You've done all that you can do until tomorrow because you're out of supplies. And you can either spend time attempting to find other things that you might be able to find as far as components or things, or you can, take a moment to relax. And
I do have spells, but I do want to do something special, but not at the ceremony that you spoke of. I raised my hand too soon.
Okay.
Can I say something?
So Kettle Tom and Reginald were doing that. They were moving the people in the fort. So the stuff that's in the fort that they can repurpose, they do. So they don't repurpose everything. So like there's, not everybody needs a broken chair or, but like the kitchen stuff or maybe some dull rusty knives they're using to try, and people have gone out to gather vegetables and whatever surrounding food can be gathered from the local territory. And then COVID, what if there's anything special you would like to be doing?
I wanted to say, because I was helping Vanessa, that Vanessa
Are
may
you
know.
talking to her specifically?
I'm saying something that might look obvious to her, but I'm saying to the Cobbs because you may agree or disagree with me saying it.
Well, just role play and then. Just
No, because it's something
I'm
she
not-
may notice of me. That's what I'm saying. It's not something I can role
I
play.
see. So you say.
So with me working closely with Vanessa trying to do, gather stuff, you would notice that I look severely fucked up.
That's fine. That seems super obvious, actually.
Well, that's why I want to make sure, but he doesn't know that, so.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so
Whether he just do something, I didn't ask for anything, but I'm just mentioning.
so Vanessa, that does happen. It's fairly obvious that in the latest brouhaha that COVID may have taken some serious damage.
I can certainly help with that.
Okay, so go ahead, Vanessa, and then we'll move along to the other thing that Vanessa was wanting to do.
Like I said, I didn't ask for it.
No.
I said she would notice.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's perfect.
You know.
It's all good. So what does Vanessa do?
I'll let the blend heal the wounds for this hero, aid him in his healing, and strengthen his bones. I can't secure moderate. Oh, man. For 2 points, I
Roll.
rolled a fucking...
Roll with advantage.
$5 points.
Is that with the +1?
Yes.
All right. So your hip isn't as sore,
Oh yeah, it is.
but the other slashes sort of remain laid open.
Do I notice he's still injured?
Hold on, Shadrach. Let Vanessa do her thing.
I'll use my healing proficiency to apply first aid to the rest of his wounds.
Well,
Sorry I can't do more tonight, Covidius. You've been a brave warrior. The blend will bless you for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Shadrach, as you come back, yeah, it's obvious to everyone that Covidius has tanked it up recently and probably needs an
This is
oil
the most
change,
damage
so-
I've taken since any of you have known me. Which is strange, but
I will step forward. It's obvious I've been crying. There's tears streaked all down my face. I'll touch Covidius on both shoulders. I said, I'd rather heal you.
I moved his
Far
hands.
mother.
I interrupted and
Damage
moved his hands away from
Hold
me.
on, hold on, Shadrach, just listen to what COVID said.
You put your hands on my shoulders and I moved your hands away from me and I said, I don't want or need anything from you right now, and I walk away. I would hope I did it before interrupting the spell, like as soon as he put his hands
Yeah.
on, so I didn't wait till it was cast.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So we have
I-
Covidius walk off,
Shadrach
leaving
is baffled.
Shadrach
walks
and
away.
Vanessa standing there, and Vanessa kind of gives you the Daryl look that he's giving right now. That's my favorite. It's like fucking Charlie Brown farting in a recliner.
All that.
Okay, so that happened. So, okay, so now we go, so Shadrach, do you want to do anything else before we get to the burning of the bodies?
I'll supervise the burning of the bodies.
Okay, very good. That seems like a reasonable thing to do with these hick fucks out here.
I walk over and have a conversation with that, wherever the hell you.
Okay, well, let's go to Vanessa. When were you wanting to do your other thing?
All right, as it becomes time for, the evening, she approaches Tom, and I
Okay.
would like your help, Tom.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to cast a spell this evening to contact Abbot Patrick and call for help. But it's going to leave me vulnerable, and I need someone to make sure that I lie peacefully while my spirit leaves my body and travels to the monastery.
Then I suggest we do this on the roof. And I will
Okay.
guard you. When would you like to do this?
When it's time for everyone to be asleep, because I'm going to go into the abbot's dreams, and I'm going to send him a message that way. So I need him to be asleep. So as evening falls and bedtime, everyone settles in. That's when I'd like to do it.
So Kettle Tom comes around to everyone individually and says, normally I'd take last watch, but let me take first watch, and I'm going to take it from the roof of the tower, and Vanessa will be with me, and I will be keeping an eye on her as well as anything. Now, I don't have dark vision like you elves, but if somebody else wants to stay up at the same time, obviously that would be super great. But if you want to take the time to catch a nap and just keep the fort closed and locked up as best we can, then I'm fine with that too. But I'm going to be keeping a watch on Vanessa because she's going to perform a ritual, and we're going to be safest on the roof, in my opinion. So if you're all good with that, then that's what we'll do. And then he's like, oof, man, that stinks, as the bodies start to torch up. And I'm not sure what you did to make bodies catch on fire, but I would assume it would take some effort, some type of fuel to get the bodies started.
I'm sure I had oil. I'm sure there was oil available. Maybe not.
Wood docks.
If there's no oil available and burning the body is impractical,
what are you gonna? You gotta have kindling, or you gotta have whatever. Normally, and then you gotta produce flame to begin with to catch, unless you have a spell.
I mean, there's plenty of wood.
So.
We can pile a big pile of wood and throw them on it, and pile some wood on it, and throw some more on. That's what they did. I mean.
No, I understand, but you still need a source to start. You need a spark. What are you using?
I'm sure, surely there's fire and torches somewhere.
Well, you got to consider this was, as I said, there was lamps on the inside of the fort, and there can be torches, but where are you going to get the fire?
I mean,
you can have all the torches you want. Where are you getting the fire?
If it's impractical to set these people on fire, then I'll let the people dump them in the ocean, and that's it.
It's not impractical. How do you catch something on fire?
I mean, I have flint and steel. I can probably create a spark. Let me check my first level spells here. I can probably make a little spark to create a fire.
All right, so I'm just trying to get you to give me a little flavor here. Don't just be like, yeah, I set it on fire and I'm done. It's like, yeah, but do you have the necessary? Sometimes you don't. It's like saying, well, I stab him with what? My fingers? No.
Okay, my question would be, is there no oil or anything like that around?
There's lamp oil in the fort.
How much? Do they have any kegs of oil?
Yeah, actually they do.
Should be.
Okay, if we pile the bodies on the dock and dose the thing with oil, they'll burn and sink into the ocean, and that should be stinky and
along with the broken chairs.
All right.
Like I said, there's plenty of broken wooden material around.
Now, I'm not going to fight on this point. But just for trivia, can you light lamp oil with a spark?
No.
Because I know you can't light oil, regular oil, with like a flame. It goes out.
No.
Surely there's always gender fires burning around this place. Surely.
Well, not during the daytime.
There's no cooking fires going? You can always keep a cooking fire going.
They had issues today. They didn't get around to cooking today. So
how about the burning towers from the lightning bolts?
Yeah, no, they didn't get set on fire. There was just a destruction.
Okay, I'll take my flint and steel and try to start a fire.
Okay, let's see if you can do it. You got to roll a d20 and you got to roll super high because you don't have fire starting. Now, if one of your companions has that, then they would know how to do it.
Can somebody start a fire?
So he asks everyone, does anyone know how to start a fire?
I don't say,
And he gets a bunch of blank looks.
I don't say shit.
I roll a 16.
One of the slaves is like, I know how, because one out of person will know how. So you asked, you got a good answer. They proceed to show you how to start a fire in bad conditions.
Light them up.
And so now I want you to roll me a d30. And if you roll a 1, this is going to be awesome. But if you roll a 30, it's going to be great too.
Okay, let me change my camera so you can see. I want to see if a 1 comes up. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Can you see the die thing
Yes.
here? Okay.
Yes, it looks cool.
There it is.
Is it a 1? Well, I can't see it.
It's 11.
Put it down. Oh.
It's 11.
Okay. Damn, that's epic. Because if you'd have rolled a 1,
I was waiting for it.
the kid,
like, come on now.
the teenager that has fire starting was blowing himself up. And if you'd have rolled a 30, everything would have been great and the whole dock would have burned and just fell right in. But as it turned out, you rolled an 11, so it's like there's a fire, most of the bodies burn, but not all, and then some of the dock burns, but not all. So the flame, though, does burn for a good long time. It gets dark. It's time to go to bed. Kettle Tom and Vanessa head up to the roof to do the ceremony. Does anyone else do anything at this time that I need to be aware of, other than go to sleep?
So you said inside the
I'm
tower,
gonna go around
there's
and make
beds
sure all the
like,
gates are
They're
locked.
just like flea-infested bags that sometimes they sleep on, or stuff with leaves or straw. Nothing's fresh. No, there's no cots or beds. It's very low quality, low economy.
I'm gonna write down what I do.
So, okay. So, anything other than,
I'm gonna go around and lock all the gates.
okay, they're basically just, planks. And you guys didn't destroy any of the gate. You didn't destroy that front gate. I think they opened it, and then there was like all the spikes. So you're able to close and bar all the gates.
That's what Reginald's working on.
The people that gathered the food, everyone is given something to eat, but there's so many of you that everyone like rations. So you get like a quarter of the food that you would normally eat if you were in some place that was fully stocked. And then everyone has something, unless somebody tries to hoard it, and apparently no one did. So just to give you an idea of the food situation. And then you, okay. Are you trying to
I
be,
sleep there.
are you
No,
trying
I
to
just
be,
walk. I just walk.
okay. So I need everyone to roll
Everybody's been doing it,
perception,
so-
please.
Perception or observation?
Perception. Kettle Tom fails by 2.
25 plus my
You're
intelligence.
successful.
42.
Daryl, your characters
20.
on a D30 plus your intelligence?
No, hold on. I thought you said they were going up on the roof. That's one.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't.
That's
When are you trying to do this?
where everybody's on the bed or they're doing what
I
everybody
see.
else-
Okay,
so
so
they
Reginald-
said they said what they did. This is what I
Reginald
did.
roll. Just Reginald roll a perception.
Okay, that's what I rolled for first.
And what'd you get?
20.
Total?
Yes, I rolled a 5.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. And then Shadrach. Can't hear you.
23. 33.
Okay, so Shadrach and Pick, you both happen to be like doing like a final thing or whatever, and you see COVID leaving through one of the gates.
It'd be the psychic. The psychic
This one over
came
here?
in originally,
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of you is going to have to put the bar back up, I guess, because
I'll
he
do
can't
that.
lock it from the outside.
Oh yeah.
Okay, do you say anything to him or?
Yep.
Okay.
COVID.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm anywhere near you, so you come up to me.
I'll come up to you.
Okay.
What's going on?
Unbar the gate.
Where are you going?
Walk.
How long are you gonna go for a walk?
I step outside. Wanna go for a walk?
How far are we going?
I don't know. You can come with me or don't.
I'll come with you.
All right.
Do you want me to bar the gate?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. I can get back in.
All right then.
Nice.
So we'll have a separate conversation.
Okay.
Somewhere else.
So you do that, and then Shadrach, it's like you're getting tired already. I mean, you're already tired, but apparently the two elves are going to go make some night yum-yums or something. So,
S'mores.
Remember, they get a bonus if they fumble their balls.
That's right. Advantage.
all right. So Shadrach, you done? You going to go lay down, or are you going to try to stay awake? And,
Oh, I'm gonna go lay down.
okay. So-
I'm just gonna go fall, collapse, and sleep.
The fort is pretty full. Lots, everybody's just kind of sleeping where they can. There doesn't seem to be any one spot better than the other. So let's go to the people on the roof. So, Kettle Tom says, so Vanessa, I understand what you're doing. I don't know this, I'm not, like, I don't really understand. But, is there anything I should look for? Like, if, like, you start twitching, should I wake you up, or what's...
No, it's very important that my body be undisturbed. For my spirit to come back successfully, I need to be in the same spot.
Well, unless we are attacked, I don't see that as an issue.
I don't see it as a problem either. I just wanted to have a private area. This was a great suggestion. I'm going to start the ritual, and I'm going to go to sleep. And I'm going to remain in a comatose condition after my spirit leaves until I've successfully delivered the message. At that point, my spirit can return. I don't know if that will take 4 hours or all night long, but you will know when I've revived.
Okay, very good then. Good luck on your journey. May the blend watch over you, even in through your dreams.
Thank you for your help. I pulled from my backpack a small bronze censer and some dried herbs that I've cured for incense, combined with the lavender, with my flint and steel. I get a spark on the incense and get it going, and wave a little air. I let it sort of fill the air. I make my bedroll out and sit down. I get my ceremonial scarf and put it across my lap with the red side up. And I inhale the incense, and I waft it into my nostrils and place it in my hands. And I say, Abbot Patrick of the Blackstone Monastery. And I lay back on my bedroll, placing my hands on the red sash, and I begin to hum until I fall into a deep sleep.
And what is the name of the spell?
Dream Vision.
Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so as you drift off to sleep, you kind of hear Kettle Tom move away a little bit, and apparently he's going to make the rounds or go look at something. I would like you to roll, first of all, a wisdom. No, not a wisdom. A intelligence check, and because though you are aware of the patterns of the monastery and when everyone should go to sleep, you are not as aware of Abbot Patrick's because he is new. So I would like you to just make a straight intelligence check or a religion check, whichever you choose, and tell me if you succeed or fail.
I will use my religion. And 34, I think, would be a success.
Okay. So,
do I find him asleep or awake?
hold on. We will come back to you. We now move the the scene shifts to the two elves who are walking, I'm guessing, along the beach, or
Yep.
do you enter the, okay, so go ahead.
I'm in a quandary as whether to discuss this now or do it on the side.
Is your concern that someone will metagame and use the information against you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what
Oh, come on.
so we need to come to an understanding that we're all adults
It happens over again.
and we need to try to limit. I mean, if the metagaming is an issue, then we need to just discuss it, get it out in the open, because I'm an adult and that's what adults
So
do.
I can't have a secret or talk to somebody else about something. I mean, when you release
can.
information via a spell, do you let the others know what you heard, or do you keep it to yourself? I mean, I'm considered the same thing. My
Okay.
conversation.
So Sean is
maybe
not.
my conversation is
Sean-
maybe specifically
Sean
about
is-
one of them.
Sean is not comfortable with, I guess, the online community listening.
Not all.
So, I guess you guys should go ahead. Can you, I mean, I guess, certainly I've had people leave the room when I wanted to talk to somebody one-on-one, but I felt I did it because I wanted things to be a surprise. So,
I'd be surprised later.
Yeah, you can really turn off your microphone.
well, actually I can, for you guys. So,
You know, that would solve the problem.
That would solve the
I think,
problem.
Sean, you could,
yeah, hold
I don't know
on, hold
what
on.
you're,
Ready?
Asking a bunch about, but
Hold on, Daryl, hold on.
But I can't have a conversation.
Can you hear me
where
now?
Suddenly I got my ass.
Can
in
you
the
hear
button,
me
I
now?
don't have a
Yes or
conversation.
no? All right, you're good. You're good. Go.
yes.
Go.
Oh, really? I got my ass in a bunch because I want to have a private conversation.
No, we took care of it. Daryl's idea fixed it.
Well, we could step outside too.
I was fully willing to do that.
Or if you want to do that too, but obviously I won't be there. And if you're
It does. I don't think you care either way if you hear what I would say.
okay,
I mean,
I trust you, Sean. I'm just
No,
saying
I'm
the
just
problem's solved. So you can go ahead and.
I'm, first off, I'm going back to where the horses were left, which somebody else needs to think about, but, you know, if I say something about it, then all of a sudden everybody wants to go get the horses. I'm tired of someone constantly following me around every time I go to do something, or every time I go to get in a battle. He's got the druid has to suddenly seem like he has to one-up me and got to be in front of me in a battle, or has got to go and attack shit I attack, or, I mean, I thought he was gonna kill those guys that I just asked to surrender, and I told him to climb down here. Did you see the blood look in his eyes? I'm not feeling him right now. That may change tomorrow, but right now I have a sour attitude towards him, and I'm not staying here tonight. I'm gonna go camp out where we left the horses. They need to be seen to anyway.
Okay.
I doubt anybody remember they're even out there until sometime tomorrow or something, or even if ever, but I'll stay there and watch them. They're not gonna be harmed. But I don't expect you to feel my way about it. And I'm also a little bit more comfortable out here in the woods than I am inside this big structure that's also a shithole and slavery. That's in my past. I'm not happy being in there. And I'm not happy talking to everybody about it. And I'm not happy about bringing it out in front of everybody that my feelings about them. I've seen a pattern of it repeatedly, and it's just growing on me. And I'm gonna go away so it doesn't affect me in the manner that I don't want it to affect me. So, like, I don't want to have to do something. I don't want to end up doing something because it pisses me off. So I'm gonna go cool off, if you will.
Okay. I need you. We're a little bit overwhelmed with the number of people we have.
Well, why wasn't that thought of? I've said that many times. It's not that there was any other way around it, okay? That was gonna happen if we were gonna do that.
And I don't think that I fathom the actual number.
I'm severely fucked up right now. I don't remember getting hurt this bad in a really long time, if ever. mean, I'm gonna go reflect on my thoughts and rethink things and chill out there. I told you where I'm gonna be. I appreciate you not share that with everyone else.
That's okay. I think come morning that we need to talk to probably maybe Vanessa first
About
getting you fixed up. What happens in the middle of the night that ship comes back? You know, I know it's a what if, but there's
did
a
we
chance.
kill most of the people that were on it anyway? I mean,
Well, all I
there's
know.
a priest is my only concern. He would be damaging. He tried. He sent a bunch of people up here to do shit. I ain't coming back in the middle of the night. There ain't no way. That fucker's got to sleep like every other priest I know. So, but tomorrow. But you know, if the place has been open, they were leaving because the place was overrun by the slaves. They weren't leaving because we all of a sudden came down and said, "Ah." What we did allowed the slaves to be free, and the slaves are now. They left because there was a revolt. And it's my opinion of the situation. I don't know anything by fact.
And we gotta figure out what we're doing with them and where we're taking them.
Good luck with that, because I don't know what to do with them. There's a lot of them. Now, those two said that they could feed them all every day. So, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, I don't know. They're most likely they don't come from the same place.
That's the
So, you're just going to say, all right, guys, go off on your own, or to wherever you came from. Are we going to take every group back to every place they came from? Or are we going to take them all back to one central location? You think this many people is going to overrun the abbey?
The monastery, everything. Yeah.
I mean, no matter where they go, they're going to overrun everything. There's just too many slaves. They got nowhere to go. Tila maybe. It's a long trip, but
That's the thing. I think, like I said, I'm overwhelmed by the numbers. I didn't fathom that many.
we're seeing a bunch of them in cages lined up and or in chain gangs. And I mean, I've seen a lot underneath in the boat.
Well, you know, you see them, but
But-
when you've got them all now,
No.
it's kind of like,
I don't know. I've had this thought ever since we first decided, or the decision was made to go and free the slaves. I think I even mentioned it once. Well, and then what? It's a great plan, but what do you do after you win? If you
well,
win.
now we're at that point now. What do we
Yeah.
do?
Well,
And what I did here today, well, the last couple of days, you know, I've ruined everything that I ever had in Tila.
no, I don't.
I did.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but
Well,
after
it's-
all, you're an elf. You should be doing something out on the outskirts, not in that industrialized city of humans. Just saying.
Yeah, that's,
Each
my
his own.
connections there are now done.
Well, you're always welcome to stay with me. But you know, I'm not planning to leave the script at this point. But I'm. My feathers are ruffled. I need to go chill out. You know, I don't foresee us being hit by these guys again. I don't think there's enough of them, and there's enough slaves here. They can revolt easily. I don't, honestly, I don't know where to take them, and I don't think taking them all to one place. I don't think necessarily they'll make it to Tila. I think there'll be a lot of other issues, but I don't know what else to do with them. I mean, honestly, they should all go in whatever they came from. That's where they should want to go. So what do you do? All right, well, you're on your own then. If you 12 want to go that way, and you 35 want to go that way, and you 6 want to go that way, I mean, what do? We can't do it. I mean, they get to go wherever they want if they want. I mean, we should have a big discussion. Let them decide. What do you want to do? You want to travel with us? Us, what? 6 people, 5 people, and 75 slaves or ex-slaves, 75 peasants. I mean, if something comes to attack us or a creature comes to attack, it's gonna. People can run, but I mean, it's not necessarily going to single us out.
Well,
Usually things go and single out easy prey, and
Right.
shit, we're going to lose people.
the problem is you're going to have any town or any city that we go towards, we're going to look like a force marching towards it with that many people.
3 minutes.
That's another very good point.
I think what I can tonight.
job to spend the night out here with me and get back to your roots. You know, relax at the beach and watch the waves crash in the moonlight. Go back in the morning. I bet nobody misses you. And we've been walking the whole time towards the horses, Scott.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, here's your choices.
Well, you know what? I can stay out here. It's locked in. I can keep watch out here.
I don't think we need to watch or anything. I plan on sleeping the whole night.
Well, you need to. I'll keep watch for a while.
I appreciate it. And we go and we set up our bedrolls and stuff off our horses.
You just set up a
Yeah, we
makeshift
set
camp.
up just off the beach. I pull the horses in. Everything, nothing's on the beach
Okay.
for visibility. We're just inside again, like where I
Are
put
you
Pick.
staying out there with this? Okay.
And that's where we chill for the night.
Okay, very good. So, go ahead and roll me a d12.
A6.
Okay. All right. So, okay, gentlemen, they are done with their off scene. You will please come back, and then we will go to Vanessa and her dream thing, unless Shadrach has something that he feels compelled. But he's sleeping peacefully. So, Vanessa, you feel yourself drifting off to sleep. And then suddenly you are standing in an office. And it appears to be Abbot Patrick's room at the monastery. But he is not there. But you hear what appears to be a commotion going on outside of the building. And as you move to look for Abbot Patrick, you see he is out there arguing with the Nembinorial. And he is there talking nonsense to each other. The Nembinorial is going, like, speaking in a song. And Abbot Patrick is saying, I don't care that you don't like waffles. If you come here, you have to eat with me. And then the Nembinorial flies off, and Abbot Patrick looks at you and says, well, hello, Vanessa.
He sees me?
Is that not in the spell? I thought it was you were delivering a message or something.
He has to be asleep, and
Yeah.
I come in the dream.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm describing, unless it says...
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm starting to realize, as Vanessa, okay, it's like, oh, I see, that's why it's nonsense. That's why it's gibberish.
Yes, okay.
Abbot Patrick, help me. You're my only hope.
Oh my God.
He says, well, what do you need, young lady? I mean, you and I aren't going to have sex, so I'm not sure what else I can help you with. And he's like, I shouldn't have said that.
Wow.
Calm down. I followed the adventurers north. Listen, please. I followed the adventurers north. We've defeated a slaver's stronghold, and we have many needy individuals in need of aid and healing and food. We need reinforcements. Please send who you can to help us. The fort, it's a wooden fort on the eastern, Vanessa knows which one it is. The western coast.
Are you
If I'm not saying that right, please correct.
Are you speaking of one with an unusual dock setup where huge ships can dock?
Yes, that's the one. You know of it?
I do know of it. And you need help.
We are there. We are there. We've taken the fort.
That is many days away. I hope you don't expect us to be there tomorrow.
Of course not. I'm just letting you know we need your help. I'm going to try and rally the wounded and move who we can. We're going to try to keep these people fed and safe. The slavers have been defeated. They fled. We've burned the dock. I just want you to know that there's going to be an influx of people coming to you, and if you can send someone to meet us part of the way or bring aid all of the way, that would be fantastic.
He kind of blinks his eyes for a second, and then he goes, damn, that's fucked up. And then you instantly return to your body, and your like eyes blink awake for a second, and you think, he's a foul-mouthed individual, isn't he? Okay, but then you're free to do whatever you want to do.
I want to sleep.
All right, so apparently that's what you do until sometime, and Kettle Tom wakes you up and he says, I'm sorry, I don't know if you were done with whatever, but it's time for someone else to take watch, so I'm going to go downstairs. I would suggest you come downstairs as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tom.
So they
And
come,
I go downstairs.
okay, and then the only one that's down there is Shadrach, and Kettle Tom like looks around and he goes, he wakes up Shadrach and he says,
You all right?
I'm sorry,
What's wrong?
where's Covidius or Pick?
I point to the gate they left through. I said they left out there and told me to bar the gate. I questioned them, but they went, and it's not my purpose to stop them.
Okay. Well, I know you touch types, you need your sleep all night to regain your spells. Is this Vanessa that's interrupting, or is this Daryl?
This is actually Reginald.
Oh, Reginald.
If I,
Okay.
you see Reginald come walking up, get some rest. I'll keep an eye on things.
He says, before you do, take the blessings of the blend, and he reaches out and he wants you to give him your hand or whatever.
I use both hands.
And he
And I
lays,
clasp it.
you feel a warmth come from him, a feeling of devotion, and you instantly feel better, and you gain 20 hit points.
Oh, blessed is the blend.
And then Kettle Tom's like, go back to sleep, Shadrach, I'm sorry. And then Kettle Tom
I was
says,
gonna reach and hold his hand and also throw another pure light in there.
but you can still do that if you want. Go ahead.
I'll do that. I'll reach out and put my hand on both of theirs and give him another D8.
Go ahead.
Let me find my D8. Okay. 5 points.
And the guest DM.
Mother Skell.
All right, so
I saw that happen. I wanted to do that. I wanted to just reach out and put my hand to it and help Reginald. So yeah, I got the spells left. I got a couple.
Kettle Tom says, watching from the roof is a pretty great place, I have to admit. They had a good idea when they built the fort. Unfortunately, it was filled with evil, but use it to your advantage, my friend.
I don't know why they would build a fort underneath the cliff. Should build a fort on top of the cliff.
Shadrach, before you go, I knew it was you. When the lightning struck, I knew it was you.
I'll give him a big hug. Reginald.
Nice. Both of you get a 37 token. Good role playing. All right, and so Reginald will take watch. Kettle Tom will lay down where Reginald was and try to get some shut-eye. You hear him kind of taking off his armor and getting settled, and one of the people's like, "Yeah, I'm quiet over there." Kettle Tom's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And
You know you can't go to sleep anywhere, so you know that.
and then these guys, you've decided you're going to sleep outside, and you rolled a d12, and so that would be a good place
I'll
to
sleep
stop.
with the moon.
And everyone is sleeping peacefully except for Reginald. And that is where we will end tonight's session with the successful Chapter 2 against the Slavers. Congratulations. So,
Just out of curiosity, you say a successful chapter 2. Do you have a number of chapters of this thing?
I do.
How many chapters are there, or is that something we can't know?
I mean,
I'm just curious.
I would rather just
Okay. No,
let that
that's fine.
come out
I was just curious.
organically. Yes. All right. So, any final comments from anyone other than I would like to start off by saying I love this game, and I am glad that we can continue to play after vacation. Although I will say, being off of work is better than this game. So don't ask me to give up one or the other. Let's just do it the way we do it. All right. Anybody else, or are we gone?
Are you still off work?
Go ahead, Shadrach.
I missed the 2 weeks. Like yesterday, I was like, I thought yesterday was Thursday. I was like, where's everybody? I was like, oh, yeah.
That's all right. Sometimes that happens. I kept thinking Sunday was.
Like I said, this game is great fun to me, and if anybody says anything else, I don't know why, but I gained great fun from this. So thank you.
All
See you
right.
guys next week.
All right. We'll be here unless something's weird. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Internet. We'll see you next week.
Internets.
Internets. Somebody else said that.
It was Bush.
Either that was you today, and I'm like, oh.
No, it was Bush.
End live video. Goodbye. And then we go to here, and we turn off our ambient music. And then we go to here. And then we go to here.